Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That's it. Hello everybody, Az here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're joined again by friend of the channel, Mike. We're going to say hello to Mike. The last time Mike was here, we chatted about MJ and Prince. Mike, how are you, my friend? How are you doing?
Hello everyone, and Az, I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I have to just tell Az and everyone here, we do have a friend joining us today. The topic quite much about him, isn't it? So I think he wanted to join in and obviously listen to what we were saying about him. So
love it.
I think that's okay, Michael. Is that okay? Yeah, sure.
Hello,
okay,
Mike.
Great.
So where did we leave off last week, Mike? We had a quite intense conversation about the parallels between Michael Jackson and Prince. And I think where we ended up was sort of somewhere we kind of spiraled into this well of the death of both. Where are we? Where are we picking up today?
We came to the, first off, hello everyone. We came to the junction of, was it worth it or not? For either of these men, Michael Jackson and Prince, was their journey worth it? Or was it not worth it? Were they happy or weren't they happy? I think that's where we left off last time. There was the paradox of they were in a situation of being poor from a background in America, an African-American background where it was deemed impossible to not only become a symbol of such success, but even being able to make it in a country as the history of what that country has. And I think we left off where these two men had rules put in front of them for the very people who they are from their race, and they broke many of them rules. And was it worth it, Az?
Was it worth it? So it's a philosophical question. It's something that I don't know if there's a straightforward answer to it. But let's circle back to it, right? Because I just want to quickly bring up something. I was driving back from work the other day, and I know now I'm slightly sort of just leaving what you said, but something also struck me, and I don't believe we spoke about it even briefly, but their homes where they lived. So so Prince had Paisley Park, right? Michael had Neverland. Both of these homes were like extensions of their personalities. I mean, if you really think about it, right? Because we're talking about comparisons and parallels, and I hear all the time people saying that they're not comparable, they're apples and oranges, but the comparisons, I think, are just bigger than the basic artistry. I think it sort of expands further out than that. But when you really think about it, Mike, right? So you have Paisley Park, which was an extension of Prince's personality. So he shot a load of his music videos there. He had parties there.
He lived there, for crying out loud.
And he lived there, right? So Prince, being the consummate sort of musician, this home is an extension of his personality, and he invites people, fans, friends into his home. Michael does the same thing.
Yeah.
Michael being the humanitarian, makes his home, designs his home specifically. Beds for sick kids. He has people from orphanages, from underprivileged schools, sick patients coming in. They're direct extensions of their personalities. And I know now I've delved off, I've completely sort of gone off path from where you just sort of...
No.
It's something that like really fascinated me today. It's something that or the other day when I was driving around, it's something that really fascinated me. Do we know any other artists of this magnitude that invited people into their homes?
No. And making such a place of their home, no, there wasn't. And I mean, it's fascinating you're saying that. I mean, I believe these two men didn't have a home when they were young people. I think they were in a position of where they were laid upon with choices that were not ones that they chose. And it was up to themselves, that self-belief, to propel themselves to get out of that situation. So I find with Michael, I find with Prince, for the last episode that we touched upon, everyone has insecurities, everyone has challenges in life. And the very challenges that were set up with these two individuals were they were deemed inadequate, not just to their family, but they were made out to themselves that they meant nothing. And I can't stress enough how that must make one feel when they feel inadequate in life. They feel they are not appreciated, and one, they are not loved. So I think with music, obviously what these two men did, they made a deal with themselves, a private deal that music would get them out of a situation where they were not happy. Hey, at the end, that's a totally different story. But at the beginning of their lives, when they set up on their journey, they made a choice of, I am not happy here, but I have in my head a place where I want to be happy, and I will do whatever it takes to get there, which is to be successful. And that will lead me to a place where I can create my own home and a place that I love. It's almost having that scenario of your dream home, right? I was going to use, do you remember the game Sims? I was going to use that as the example. It's almost like building on that particular game, your dream house, everything that you want, you build it from scratch. But if you're put in a position where, one, you're being abused or physically abused or mentally abused, you are going to find anything to get out of that spot. And unfortunately, if you can't get out of that spot, that's even sadder in the situation.
Were they confident people, Mike? Were like Michael Jackson on stage was incredibly confident, as was Prince. I mean, as human beings, I've watched Prince over the years as well in interviews, very shy, very sort of introverted almost. I mean, maybe towards the end of his life, he was doing TV shows, wasn't he? And he seemed sort of to have, I'm not saying he didn't have a sense of humor in the past, but he seemed a little bit more maybe coming out of his I saw him on a number of American shows and things towards the end, in the last kind of maybe, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years of his life. But were they particularly confident apart from what they did, which was like their vocation, their life? I suppose it was their complete life, the music, performing, entertaining. But outside of that, just as functioning everyday people.
I don't know. That's a difficult question because I don't know.
We're fans of both.
Yeah, we're fans of both, but I mean...
And I know that we've watched Michael Jackson over the years and Prince perhaps over the years, and we know that they're shy. And I don't know what I'm actually trying to ask. I think I'm trying to ask...
I do. I know exactly what you're asking, but I think also from what we said earlier, they were both put in a position where it was not a comfortable position from the start. So what are you going to do? You're going to act upon it. They created their own personalities, these two men, in order to get out of their situation. And the other thing is I didn't touch upon in the last episode was what happened with Prince and why Prince was kicked out of his house by his dad. Again, this is going off what people have said. It could be something completely different. But Prince was caught with I believe it was 2 girls in his bed when he was 10 or 12.
I did not know that.
And he's in a very religious home. And his dad said, you know, you have really crossed the line. And his dad threw him out. And I think he went and lived with his mum. And I believe the same thing happened again. And she kicked him out. So Prince has not only been kicked out once, which is already hurtful enough, he's been kicked out twice by his dad and by his mum. And then he's had to go and live with, is it Andre, was he called Andre Simone? I can't remember. I think it's one of his guitar players in his first.
I think you're right.
In his first band, he went and lived with him. And
is he an uncle or a cousin or a?
I think so. But that was the start of Prince Rogers Nelson's start in life. There was God and there was sex, and there was a complete blend of raw emotions going on there. And again, it was one or the other. One was good, one was bad, one was good, one was bad. And that ultimately, that is what made Prince. That is what made that persona anyway. That's ultimately what I believe. I mean, have you ever seen that footage of Prince that they found when he was a child talking? Yeah. Did you see that?
I've seen it.
Child.
You have to
and it's fascinating because one, that was found by accident, and also he seems like a very shy, sweet child, but shy.
So he was having intimate relationships at that time, like as a kid.
I think so. Something happened where he was kicked out of his dad's home. There was the story of him playing the piano and his dad threw him out. But again, I think that's a Purple Rain myth.
Well, okay. So that sort of leads me into this question, because the lines seem to be blurred between his past and Purple Rain.
Absolutely. And from what I know, Prince's mum was black also. His mum wasn't Italian. I think in Purple Rain, it was very interesting. I remember reading in a book, but I remember seeing pictures of him with his mum, and his mum's, you know, she's black. But in Purple Rain, he's perceived as having a white mother in the film. And again, people said that was Prince being very strategic in terms of marketing himself, and obviously people not knowing his background or looking at him and saying, is he really white? Is he black? What's the quotes from the incredible song Controversy? Am I black or white? Am I straight or gay? And that was a perfect thing for that guy to tap into. And again, it worked till the very, very end of Prince's career. But like I said, the situation of what Prince was presented with was sex and God, and blurring the lines, like you said, blurring the lines. It was very difficult, I think, with that Purple Rain film. Was this really a portrayal of what really happened to Prince? And I do believe it was. It was, but at the same time, I think there was way more to it. There was way more to Prince's story. What was one of the most horrible stories I heard of Prince? Prince was kicked out of his house. He had no money. He had no food. And Prince would go and stand outside McDonald's in Minneapolis and smell the burgers.
I heard that, but I'd forgotten that I'd heard that, but I have heard that he would smell the burgers.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. So that then, I suppose, fuels unimaginable motivation to...
I think the biggest thing is what you said earlier. They were talking about raw emotions. They were set with some very, very, very raw emotions. And again, the fuel. I believe if you certainly want something in life when it's good, but it's worked throughout history. It's been a lot, I say work, it's spawned a lot of human emotions, good and bad. Raw emotions are very, very, very almost a taboo thing to talk. It will make an individual do something because it's been set in front of them that they are not allowed to reach that particular thing.
It's incredible the levels that they reached as entertainers and what they were able to do as entertainers.
But I can't imagine being 12, being outside McDonald's, smelling the burgers to give me the sense that I'm having something to eat.
It's crazy. I mean, one of the things about Prince as well is, like, I asked the question, is he or were they confident human beings? But I mean, like, he did exert complete control around his musical empire about, with regards musicians, dancers, engineers, people that he worked with. I mean, Prince ran the show, didn't he?
Everything.
Prince ran the show, and I think he ran a really tight ship with people as well, didn't they?
I think the biggest thing with Prince was he knew what loyalty was, but he also knew how to keep pushing people. And I think at times people thought Prince was being very difficult in terms of they thought he was difficult to work with, but wasn't taking into consideration other people's feelings. But at the same time, he was pushing himself. So he believed he was pushing himself. He thought pushing you would make you reach your potential. And I think a lot of people who work with him have said that now. Most of the people who work with him have realized, if at the time when they worked for Prince, they couldn't understand at times why he was the way he was, but it was because he never ever stopped that fire burning in his belly.
Who was his manager, Matt? Was it Alan Leeds?
Yeah, it was. And I think Eric Leeds is his brother, and he was in his band as well. He was a saxophone player for Prince. And Eric Leeds, I believe, had a very, very, very interesting relationship with Prince because, again, one minute he thought he was extremely difficult, and then the next minute he was a genius. So it was I can only imagine it was very confusing. There's one minute you're admiring the hell out of him, and then the next minute you're thinking, God, why do I keep coming back to this guy? Why do I keep working for him? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's an interesting story as well that I think Alan Leeds, his manager, told that when Prince lost his child, he came into Alan Leeds' office. I hope I'm getting the name right of his manager.
Right.
He tried to offer Prince some, like, his condolences, and he said, how are you? I'm so sorry for what you've gone through. How are you? And Prince was like, well, how do you think I am? He was really, really nasty towards Alan Leeds, and Alan Leeds sort of took it as like, you jerk, like, I'm trying to be compassionate here to you. But Prince didn't really know how to sort of take in that situation.
And that's a perfect thing to lead into what you just said. I heard that when his son passed away, apparently he burnt down one of his houses. He was that mad.
I mean, did you watch the Oprah interview?
I did, and some of it was very sad and very difficult to watch. I mean, Prince reveals a hell of a lot about himself in that interview.
Yeah, because he's asked, how is your child doing? And I mean, he talks about the kid as if the kid is, I mean, he puts it, I guess, in a philosophical way. I can't remember what his words are, but it's almost, I mean, if you didn't know any better.
Yeah, Mike, I do remember. I do. I think he kind of says, things happen for a reason, but if God's hands, and then it cuts to another shot, and Prince is, I believe he's on the piano, and he says, don't believe everything you hear. Never mind what you hear.
So, I mean, like, if you weren't aware that his kid had passed, because I believe his kid had passed by then, didn't they, the child?
Yeah, yeah. But he actually went on to another TV show. Oh, what was the guy called? And they've gone on there, and they know they're gonna be asked about their son, and his wife sat with him. Have you seen that interview?
I probably have, and I'm possibly conflating the two interviews and mixing them up.
Yeah, well, they came out at the same time, but Maite sat with Prince on his knee, And the interviewer's like, we've heard obviously you've had a baby, or is there some type of complications? And they can't even look at him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And Prince just said, things happen for a reason. Everything's in God's hand. I can't imagine how to answer that question. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Like he was very talented, very tunnel vision, but then struggled with certain aspects of being human, perhaps. And I suppose at that type of level as well, I suppose, we asked the question last week, how do you sort of be Michael Jackson, or how do you be Prince and function on a normal level? It must be very difficult to have been any of these guys and in their shoes.
I mean, creating a personality, and almost creating a personality to the point of where we believe that personality is you. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
I'll say this, and I'll try and put it into perspective. I've always thought, actors are actors, right? We know actors are playing a character. Yeah. The most fascinating thing for me was meeting professional wrestlers like Ric Flair. Woo! The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, yeah?
One of my favorites from back in the day, actually. Love Ric Flair.
Unreal. And the fascinating thing with Ric Flair, and I'm not comparing him to any of these people, but when I met Ric Flair, I met Ric Flair. There's Richard Flair, the real person, but Ric Flair has lived being Ric Flair for 45 years. That is the same type of thing with Prince and Michael Jackson. You've got Prince Rogers Nelson and you've got Michael Joseph Jackson, who they were born as. But then they created these personalities that fed to us for 40 years.
So they always had to be on? They always had to be on?
Always. Well, I don't think they knew how to switch it off, like what we've said in previous episodes. But it's always fascinating because, like, when you meet a famous actor or anything like that, you're meeting the person, right? But then when you're meeting like a professional wrestler or you're meeting a pop star, it's a very, very different thing to meeting an actor. Because an actor is portraying a character. They take off the makeup and then, hey, I'm meeting this, I'm meeting that, I'm meeting this person, right? But then when you meet, I don't know, Mick Jagger or anybody like that, or Freddie Mercury, they've created that persona and they're living that. They're literally living in the moment, living that personality, and they're having to live up to that.
I watched an interview with Lionel Richie maybe about 6 months ago, and he said that every single pair of underwear Michael Jackson wore had to be brand new, and that when he was finished with a pair of underwear,
I've seen it because people were stealing his clothes. I've seen it.
Can you imagine, like,
oh my God.
You're talking about,
and he'd wear shoes, and he'd wear shoes 3-4 times big on his feet, and people would say, Michael, why are you wearing floppy shoes? And he'd say, oh, well, this person's just given me them. I don't want to be horrible and say no to this person and make them feel bad. And his nickname was Smelly because he would keep those clothes on because people would steal his clothes.
This is what I mean, because it sort of ties into always having to be on. Imagine not having the sort of the dignity or the privacy of, like, imagine having to hide your underwear in a pair of, like, in a bag of, like, trash, like,
in trash, and bury them and do all sorts of stuff
to get rid of them, because if they were found, and Prince was the same. Like, was Prince ever seen once in, like, just a sort of pair of joggers, a pair of track pants, or a pair of trainers, or a?
He was. Apparently he was. I mean, I think it was up to, was it the Controversy album or the Dirty Mind album? Apparently you would see, Prince wearing Converse trainers. You'd see him wearing jeans. I've seen pictures of him in normal clothes, and he's got his big afro. Obviously, this is when he's his For You era, and he's obviously starting out, and he's in normal clothes, obviously, but then the persona's starting to be created. Then he's always wearing his high heels. Then he's always wearing his tight lycra jumpsuits, and his hair has to be immaculate. And I think one of his sound engineers said, was it just before 1999? He was always in Prince mode. You never ever saw him. He would always be done up. Whenever he came in at 3, 4 in the morning, he would be dressed head to toe like he's ready to go on the stage. And it's because, again, there's that mindset. He has to dress like that in order to believe he is Prince. And it's the same with Michael Jackson. They can't and when I'm saying this, it's the gimmick. A pro wrestler has a gimmick. Do you know what I mean? A gimmick. Hulk Hogan, there's all of that. You've got a certain thing that you give to people, and again, it's the gimmick. If you drop that gimmick, there was the whole thing of you couldn't see a wrestler with a wrestler who they were feuding with because they would break the gimmick.
Yeah,
the magic, the whole curtain would fall down, and people would go, "Oh my God, why is Hulk Hogan having tea with the Iron Sheik? We've just seen them killing each other." It's the same analogy, right? But I believe that with Michael Jackson and Prince. I do believe as well, this is why they never collaborated, because they didn't want that mystique to break.
They didn't want it to break to the public, or they didn't want to reveal it to one another, or they didn't want to sort of like...
Possibly.
Can you imagine the two of these guys in a recording studio having like a disagreement about a lyric or the music?
Oh my God!
How would that go? How would that go? Like, to be a fly on the wall and to witness something like that. How would that go?
I heard when they played ping pong and Prince was smacking the ping pong ball at his head.
That's right. But how can either one back down then? Because if I'm Prince and you're Michael and you back down, then I've sort of won theoretically. Or if I'm Prince and you sort of override me with a decision, then you won. How does either one back down? How do you back down if you're like the biggest thing on the planet or the...
And this is the thing called, ladies and gentlemen, ego. Ego's a very, 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 very interesting word, because ego plays in all. And I can only imagine, and I've been in some situations where it's quite interesting, where everyone wants to be the star, right? But in this particular case, in their mind, there is only one.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us.
Perfect. And that's a great song by the band called The Sparks. Incredible.
Oh,
this town ain't big enough for both of us. Love it.
Oh, yeah, I know that one actually. That's like
awesome song. But you're absolutely right. You can't come in my yard because I'm the big dog.
Yeah.
But I can't go in your yard because then you will make out that you're the big dog. And this was the whole thing with these two.
If we come together, it's a Mexican standoff. There can only be one sort of winner.
And like Prince said in the interview, right there, we have a problem. He said that with Chris Rock. Right there, we have a problem. Because I'm not going to do what you tell me. And if you want me to say what you want me to say, I ain't going to do it.
So Prince is already in that situation, looking at the bigger picture in terms of his image and his projection to the world and how he's perceived. And he's immediately thinking, right there, we have a problem, even before they sort of get in a studio and he's reading the lyrics.
Did you hear about the cancelled Prince documentary, Az?
I did. And I'm so disappointed. Yeah, it would have been incredible to have been able to see that documentary.
It was supposed to be was it 9 hours?
9 hours.
9 hours. And 9 hours of
warts and all, fly on the wall.
And it was almost like following somebody to the Super Bowl. That was the comparisons of how great this documentary was. You got to see the all and everything with this person, but you also got to see, and again, with Prince in particular, this has not really been spoken about. But from this documentary that has not come out, there were some very, very interesting things that became apparent with Prince Rogers Nelson's life. Do you want me to start with one of them? Because this is a very, very interesting part too, sir. The audience that's here listening.
And we should go all in. I mean, you say whatever's on
We're
your
going
mind.
all in. We're going all in.
Fascinating.
The topic of Prince having a certain relationship with his sister.
Now that I didn't hear. I did hear, obviously, that it was.
I'll never forget the song called Sister. And I was wondering who he was talking about in that song.
And obviously that song.
Is it the affirmation of my sister? In that term? Or is he talking about his real sister? Who's he talking about?
Yeah. If we sort of pause on that and we get back to what you spoke about earlier about Prince having relationships at maybe 10, 11, 12 years old. And then if you factor in the poor background and his upbringing and maybe not feeling loved by his father, and things can become sort of warped, maybe.
I think in that regard of that situation, it can be a situation of you are trying to cling on to any single thing of physical so any type of emotion, because what would lead you down there? And by the way, everyone, this documentary was never released. This is all speculation and just a topic of discussion, but this was one of the mere reasons why this was not released. This is not fact. This is a discussion. So enjoy the comments.
I mean, what does something like that do to Prince's legacy if something like that comes out in a documentary? Does it hurt it, or does it?
Well, this is the thing. That documentary never ever came out. And again, this is purely speculation, but they worked on that for so many years. Oh, where are you, Az?
Sorry,
I've got you. You're back.
Drink, and I just. Sorry about that.
They worked on that documentary for God knows how many years. I believe it was from the 2018 time, right? They started working on that documentary, and the director was, I believe he's won an Academy Award. He's won many awards, and he did all of that, and it was never released. And then they spoke about it. And from what we've heard and from Prince's lawyer, they are doing their own documentary with Netflix, a new documentary with new chapters and their narrative. And this will be what we hear. But like you said, the legacy of Prince, well, again, this will lie on the biopic they do of his life. What will it lie on? And by the way, everyone, please write your comments in. Please write your comments in on what the topics are and what you think and what your opinion is. And again, we are not attacking these people. We are fans of them. Look, there's Michael. There's Prince stuff in the background. We are fans, ladies and gentlemen, of both these individuals. So we are not trying to dampen them or critique them. This is merely a discussion.
Merely a discussion.
Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but in no way, shape, or form are we attacking these individuals, because we adore them, we love them.
And this is why we're having this discussion, and this is why we're asking these types of questions. And it's important and it's fascinating, and they're both fascinating. But answer me this, Mike. Why are we not allowed to see Michael Jackson and Prince presented with their flaw? I mean, the Michael biopic, I loved this. I think it's a great moment.
I love it. I love it.
You know, but
we've seen it 12 times.
Well, the last time I saw it was probably about 2 weeks ago with my wife and one of her friends from work, and her friend loved it. Her only critique was that she felt that Michael was presented as too perfect. Now, I mean, I didn't get into a big discussion with her about it necessarily. I mean, to sort of take Michael's side of the situation, I don't think Michael really kind of did anything that was controversial or up to that point, but she felt that he was just too perfect. And then tying into what we're saying about the Prince
I get what
documentary.
she's talking about. I get what she's talking about. And there is a very, very, very interesting chapter in Michael Jackson's life. And I will say it's the ages of when he's 15, 15 to 19, and people don't really know what was going on with him. It's never really been documented. Michael has spoken about it in a few interviews where he would walk the streets looking for people to talk to.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that in itself, wow, what a film that would be.
But this is what I mean. So, like, you have both artists being presented in a very, and it's nothing personal because I love the Michael movie for what it is, but it's just, are we getting sanitized versions of Michael and Prince, and then we're talking about them in their lifetimes presenting themselves as the biggest artists of all time and always having to be on and always having to be perfect and all of these things. But I, honestly, I mean, how do you think that documentary would have been received? That Prince document, that 9-hour mammoth in-depth look at Prince's life, something like that we have never seen, touching on subjects that.
But when they announced it in 2018, I had been waiting and watching. And again, like with Michael's projects, they were cancelled at the very last minute. So again, it was that feeling of, but it didn't hurt as much because I was getting albums. Since Prince had passed, I was getting albums. I was getting deluxe albums. I was getting this. I was getting that. I was getting so much sweets, I couldn't help myself. I was going to the candy store. The candy was in the shakers. I could pick it out, like pick and mix, loving life. So I was kind of content. However, delving into Prince's life, and I'd probably say Prince was probably more guarded than Michael. Prince was more guarded than Michael, I would say.
Do you think Prince had more to hide, more to protect, more to?
I mean, again, from that documentary, and I think you were going to say it, but there are other things that were said.
I mean, from what I gather, from what I heard about the documentary, it would have revealed Prince not always being particularly a very nice person to be around. I mean, quite cold-hearted and quite nasty to people. But I mean, again, Mike, I suppose we can all have those moments, but we're not famous.
We do, but I think what's so fascinating with the topic of Prince, who we're talking about, not this gentleman in the background, his image, his legacy in terms of music, it's such a crystallized gem of genius and perfection. It cannot be smeared. It cannot be touched or broken or even have an inch or a slight dent in it, because that could be catastrophic.
Catastrophic to the brand, to the legacy, to the mythologizing, to the...
I think it would be devastating. Who cancels a 9-hour documentary?
I don't know, but I can only
They've
imagine.
been working on it for years. Years.
The director is seething, isn't he? He's like he really
you saw how, not deflated, but you saw how he just looked like he'd been run over.
Imagine giving years of your life to a project.
But then again, what are they wanting to reveal about Prince? This is the thing, Gaz. Are they wanting to reveal all, or are they wanting to reveal just his talent? And again, I will speak about this gentleman. It's, do you want to talk about him as a person, or do you want to talk about him as the greatest performer, entertainer ever? Because they are two different things.
It's a fascinating dichotomy between the both. I mean, if we watch something 9 hours of Prince and it reveals everything.
Oh my God, mate. That would have been like Lord of the Rings.
It would have been like Lord of the Rings. in their minds, do they think? What do they think? They think it would have. They think it would shatter the illusion
I think they felt they revealed too much.
too much, so then he loses the mystique, and then he's not as fascinating or as
He's
intriguing.
not as fascinating anymore because now they know that Prince was a real person. Prince had his problems. He had, like everybody, he had his issues with his lovers. He had his issues with his girlfriends. He had his issues with his record label. But the Prince, godlike figure, he doesn't have any problems. Prince is telling us about love. Prince is telling us about God. Prince is intertwining love, God, sex. Hey, I forgot one of my greatest tunes. We were doing that whole top 5 of Prince, Endorphin Machine. Oh,
Endorphin
my Lord.
Gold experience.
Anybody, do not put that song on in your car because you will crash it.
Yeah, it's a great tune.
Do you know song?
I found the Gold experience in a CEX shop in Cork City in Ireland, where I'm from, in the second hand. See it just above my finger.
I can see it. Right. How much did you get it for in a second-hand shop?
For about €1. About €1. And I had looked for it for years, and this was at a time when it wasn't available. I mean, I could have bought it on eBay or something, but it was years ago I bought it now. It was years ago.
So is that the Gold Experience album?
Yeah. On CD. It's on CD. I mean, I don't have everything on.
Do you know how much that is? Do you know how much that is now?
How much is it now?
I've got my copy as well. So I bought my copy of the Gold Experience 20 years ago. I bought my copy. I got it for, was it £25 at the time? I think it's near enough now. Please don't kill me. But I think it's worth nearly £250. £300.
Okay. I mean, I know it was reissued.
Don't sell it.
I won't sell it, but I came across it for €1 in Ireland when I was years and years ago. But they have reissued it, haven't they?
They have reissued it, but it's nothing like having the original.
But have you got it on vinyl, or do you have it on CD?
I've got it over there on CD. I think what I have to do, everybody, I think probably in the big, I think are we going to give a hint of what we're going to do with Russ? We have something interesting that's cooking at the moment. And I think we won't reveal all, but I think it will be dropped anyway soon. But we have something interesting coming with Russ.
We do have something coming with Ross. Hello to Ross if you're watching as well, Ross. Ross's dogs passed away last weekend as well.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Troy was his name. So our condolences, Ross, for the loss of poor Troy. And they're absolutely devastated. They went to see
Weird Al.
They went to see Weird Al, and I think on the same day they lost one of their beloved.
Oh no!
Yeah, so we're sending out a major love, Ross, to you, Lauren, and
much love, Ross. My gosh,
much love, my friend. It's terrible when you lose a pet.
Well, I hope you come on here soon, Ross, and we have some interesting things to tell.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole thing. You, me, Ross, Prince related.
Some very interesting things. And also some other things that will be a very interesting related thing to some individuals. So, yeah, it should be quite fun.
Absolutely. Do you have Crystal Ball on CD? I don't have Crystal Ball.
Why have you mentioned that?
Because it's something I have always wanted, Crystal Ball. I don't have it, but you're getting me really excited actually about Prince's albums and music now at the moment. I was in Los Angeles years ago, and there was a copy of the Black Album, and I left it there. And
you didn't get it?
I didn't get it, and I went
back.
I went. Listen to this, all right? I thought, it's the Black Album. I'm in Los Angeles. Nobody's going to be interested in that. I went back hours later, and it was gone.
Oh no! I grew some legs and ran off.
Wow.
Do you have this? Do you have this?
I can only imagine now what you're about to show me. or show us. No. Okay. So actually, I was only looking at this last night and contemplating buying the sort of reissued version of this. But I love this original version of One Night Alone.
So I bought this, I remember again, 20 years ago, this was £50. But it's making me laugh now because you've mentioned Crystal Ball. At the time, Crystal Ball was on Amazon for £15. It's now worth £500.
Did you not buy it? Did you not buy it?
No, I did a year. I went, oh, I'll leave it. And then it was gone.
Why do we do it to ourselves?
But since then, ladies and gentlemen, me and Az we have learned the hard way. And if you see something, you get it.
Absolutely.
But I don't have the Black Album. I would love to get the Black Album.
Yeah.
Incredible. I
mean, I went back hours later and it was gone. But
it was gone. Oh
you know what, Mike? I've made that mistake in the past so many times, and I don't know why I do it. I see something I want to buy. I start playing this weird game with myself in my mind, and then I start having this push-pull thing, and maybe I'll leave it. I'll think about it. I'll go away and I'll have a think about what I want to do. What I want to do is I want to buy it, and then I go back and it's gone because I went away to reassure myself that I want to buy it. And then
so your Julian's book that was in the background, I don't think you've got it there today, but the Michael Jackson Julian's auction volume book. So I told you, I saw it for sale. I think this was about 15 years ago, and it was for £8. You can now only get it for £1,500.
£8.
It was £8.
Oh my God.
So anybody, if you see something that you like, hey, knock yourself out. There's one or two other Prince things that I need to here's something interesting.
Oh, that looks amazing. I don't know.
Now, do you know of these?
Yeah, I have seen Prince comic books, but I don't know if I've seen that. I don't know if I've seen that one.
Concept.
Oh, wow. They are so nice. I've seen this one. I've seen the cover of this one. I'm aware of this one. Yeah.
Right, so you've seen this one before?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not physically.
There is one more, but it's incredibly hard to get. Honest to God. It's a graphic novel series called Rock and Roll, and they've done like a series for other artists. I think they've done one for Kiss. They've done one for, I think, Ozzy Osbourne, basically all of that bracket. But yeah, they did one for Prince. And it was interesting, that last episode we did when you were showing the Graffiti Bridge pictures, it's obviously got on the cover.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. But going back to what we said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, there's the person and there's the entertainer. What do you want to know more about? Do you want to know more about the person, their struggles, what they had to face, or do you just want to know about the entertainer?
What about you, Mike? Do you want these two artists to be humanized, or does it, as we said, I mean, you can humanize them to a certain extent, but do we really want all of the illusion shattered? Do we want them to be flawed like us?
Well, this is it.
You know, do you want to know if Prince has a sore hip, or he's having a cup of tea, or Michael Jackson is like, I don't know. Do we want them do we want them normalized, or does it sort of deflate what we have them built up to be in our minds and our imaginations? We have them on pedestals because we love them, not because we think they're better than us, although we probably do. We probably do think they're better than us. But, that's all serves into why we love them and their music and the way they present themselves. They're otherworldly. And like, as I said, like when I saw Michael Jackson on the History Tour, he almost didn't look human at times. And I'm sure me saying like he didn't look human, I'm sure that was as much me wanting to see him that way, as much as I said that he was able to sort of pull this trick on stage where he just didn't look real. But I'm sure a part of me wanted him to not be human, because
Well, but again, because that's what he's lived up to, you seeing. And it was the same with Prince when I saw him live. I think the most interesting thing, though, it's when Michael Jackson passed away, and we're going to lead into something else in a second. I'll never forget when Uri Geller did the interview, and he did the comparison of if Michael was sat in a room, he was meek. Meek.
It's strange, isn't it?
It is strange because that is not what we saw. We didn't see that. Prince, there's that very, very awkward interview with Prince and that lady in, I think, is it in Holland, where she sat with him. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Really? I don't know if I've seen this. What?
Please, people, go and find it.
Is it an interaction?
Prince is sat on the sofa, one-to-one with this lady, and this lady just loses it. She's trying to ask him questions, but then she asks him questions that make no sense, but then she starts having little out-of-body experiences going, oh!
Yeah.
And Prince is sat there trying to be normal, but he's probably thinking, this is bonkers. Honestly, people, try and find it. I think it's from, what's the album Prince did with the microphone in his hand? Is it New Power Soul?
Yes, which I actually have somewhere. And I bought that in LA, actually.
Oh, did you?
I bought that. So there was a bunch of albums. The Black Album was
right next to the Black Album.
So I bought that, but I could have bought the Black Album with it if I had just.
How much was it?
Probably $20 or something. Or this was how long was it ago? This was about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. Amoeba Records in.
Wow! You went there.
Right. So now this is just, listen to this. This is embarrassing, but I'm going to tell this.
Oh, God.
I thought it was pronounced Amiobi Records. So with my Irish accent, I was with my wife walking around Los Angeles asking people, do you know where Amiobi is? Do you know where Amiobi? And people are looking at me like, what's up with this guy? What? Amiobi? You know? And then I asked this this lady, do you know where Amiobi is? And she was like, you mean amoeba?
Amoeba.
I was like, yeah. So you can imagine
what
stupid I felt.
You're not, in the words of Michael Jackson, you're not alone there. I also did it myself when I was living in America at one particular point.
Really?
This was in Louisville, Kentucky. I wonder why Russ is going to ask me why I was in Louisville, Kentucky. I'll leave that with you, Russ, if you're watching.
Or maybe he could put it in the comments if he...
Yes. Why was Mike in Louisville, Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen?
Louisville, Kentucky.
There was a place, and I won't say the hotel where I was because it will be a big giveaway then, and Russ will get it straight away. But there was a place called Kroger. It was a big supermarket called Kroger, right? So I'm there, being me. Everyone thought I was from Australia. Do you know what I mean? Saying, hiya, mate. How you doing? Hey, guys from down under. It's guy from down under. Even though people thought I was Mexican there as well. Hey, it's guy from down under, Mexican guy from down under, right? And I kept saying, do you know where Kruger? Is it Kruger? Cougar? Is it Cougar? Kruger? This woman was like, the hell's wrong with this guy?
It's so embarrassing.
Is it the shop? I was going, the shopping place. The shop. You want to go shopping? The shopping place where you go buy food. Yeah. Oh, you mean you mean like a supermarket? Yes, that's what I mean. The shops, yes. But that's supermarket. Yes, the shops, but that's what she said. You mean Kroger? It's that way. I was like, oh my God, right. We finally got there, but there you go. So you are not alone. We're pronouncing things wrong.
Yeah. I love the way they state it so obvious. Like, you mean Kroger.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yes. And I was with my best mate there when we were, I wonder, Russ will probably wonder why we were there, but it'd be an interesting thing what he says. But
Yeah. Do we want Prince and Michael Jackson seen as everyday normal people with faults and sore hips and sore toes? And I listened to an interview a few years ago with one of Michael Jackson's bodyguards. And he said he was responsible for Michael. He said he kind of touched on what it was like to work with people on this level. He said you had to check that their nose was clean, their mouth, they couldn't get a stain on their shirt, what they were wearing. Everything had to be perfect when they went out in public. They couldn't have they couldn't be embarrassed.
imperfection. Yeah,
No,
they couldn't have any type of imperfection.
no, they couldn't have any type of normal human imperfections. No, they weren't allowed to be. And that was one of his responsibilities as a sort of a minder, a bodyguard, that, Michael, your tie is crooked, or you have something there on your mouth, or you have a
Well,
speck of
that's quite
something there.
interesting you say that, because leading into no imperfection, why was an ambulance going into a building and then escorting somebody out of the back of the ambulance and then going up the stairs with his face covered?
Right. So we'll get into this, right? But I saw recently an interview of a doctor. I don't know if you saw this interview on YouTube with this doctor who said that it was apparently, now this is according to him, that it was a German TV
Is
company.
this the Irish doctor?
Oh, no, but who's the Irish doctor? Is there an Irish
The one
doctor?
who's talking about this in the interview, who's explaining this?
Is he an Irish doctor? I thought he was German.
He
or
is.
something. Is he?
Yes.
Okay, so did you hear this story? That now, according to him, that this was recreated by some company who reconstructed. They went
A
away.
German company, a company from Germany, apparently, that created this.
Now, is that trying to debunk what could be true? It's very conspiracy theory, but then I'm open to that sort of stuff, because what we spoke about last week was how do you not be Michael Jackson or Prince?
And Michael Jackson, and why was there a lady with a fake blonde wig sat right at the front wearing interesting sunglasses at his funeral?
Yeah, there's all of these unanswered questions to things that could potentially be something or nothing. I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
Did Michael Jackson fake his death in order to get out of the situation that he was in? That is my question.
Yeah.
I will never forget, sat like yourself and the billion other people when they got that news that he was dead. And my first gut thing when my best friend called me was, this is a publicity stunt. This is Michael. This was the first thing that came out of my mouth. I said, yeah, this is a publicity stunt. I was not having it. I said, this is him doing his thing, hyping his tour, as he always does. But then my phone keeps ringing. My best friend keeps ringing me back. Then I'm getting all these other messages from people. But it didn't help. I'd seen a film called Man on the Moon. Have you seen that film, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you very much.
I love it, mate. I'll do that as the insert, right? That's the insert, right? I saw it in 1999 in New York when it was released, and I absolutely loved it. And I went away, and the first thing I did was buy a book on Andy Kaufman, inside the Funhouse or inside the Madhouse or something. I absolutely love that movie. Love it.
Now, what did you take away from the end of that movie?
Yeah. I mean, it's what's funny about that takeaway is that he would impersonate Elvis, and the same thing sort of the same thing hangs in the air about Elvis. Did he fake his own death? And there was the Kit Kat ad. You'll know the Kit Kat ad. I'm not dead, baby. I'm just having a break. And I mean, if you watch the movie as well, Andy Kaufman was famous for
messing with people.
Messing with people.
Messing with
reality.
People. He never, ever stopped messing with people. What's the greatest quote in that film? And this goes to this man and the other man we're talking about. But Andy Kaufman's girlfriend or wife says, don't ever use me as a prop ever again.
There you go. And I mean, he messed with his family as well. They were like, they didn't know what to believe, or yeah, it's a brilliant movie. I highly recommend it to anybody watching this.
Explain to your listeners as what is revealed at the end of Man on the Moon.
Well, should I give the ending away for people who haven't seen it? So during the movie, Andy has a partner. What would you call him? Like a professional work partner who helps him
who doubles with it.
Doubles for Andy Kaufman. And as the camera pans out from the stage and across the audience in the comedy club, there's his partner is sitting in the audience.
So who's performing?
Who's performing?
When we've just been told he's passed away, and there's the whole ceremony, and people are mourning, people are crying. I mean, I'm not being funny. There was one clip, and I thought, is this real or is this not real? One of Michael Jackson's lawyers that said, I was there. I went down to the hospital. I was there with the mother. I was there with the brothers. I was there with the dad, then the children. And then the children were crying. And then the family were crying. And then they showed me the hospital bed of where he was. And I said, oh my. Is this Deadpool here, or what's going on?
Okay, so for me, obviously, like, I'm a lifelong fan. Part of me, okay, I'll be really honest now, and I hope people understand what I'm saying when I say this, but part of me hopes Michael isn't with us anymore, just for the fact that what's still going on with people who were supposedly his friends.
Can you imagine if he's still alive and he's seeing all of this?
I mean, it's just devastating. And it gets back to what we were speaking about either earlier or on the last show, is that they were on such a different level to every other human being. They couldn't trust anyone. Michael Jackson couldn't trust anyone, even people who he believed who he believed to be like a second family to him.
I'm going to say this. I haven't dared watch their interview.
I haven't watched their interview. I haven't watched Leaving Neverland either.
I haven't. And what's this Netflix thing that's just come out? I mean, we were talking before we came on the air. What is this? Why now? Why now when we're nearly hitting 1 billion, and all of a sudden now they're creeping out and they're trying to gain some momentum because what they said was not working and stopping people from enjoying this film?
Here's a question, Mike, right? What if somebody put out like a positive pro Michael Jackson documentary? I think that would be really successful. I think that would be really
but there are certain people that do not want to see something good about him.
No. What? No.
And the mere reason I say that, I actually had a conversation with somebody earlier, and we've said this, and we'll say this for the very last time. He was under oath innocent.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
What more do you want? I just don't understand this continuing need to want him so badly to be this monster that they just have sort of created this narrative for the past 30, 40 years. Do you know what I honestly believe? I actually believe that if it came out tomorrow, that, I don't know, whether it was Geordie Chandler came out and he said, this never happened in 93. It was my father drugged me in his dental chair, and it was my father. I honestly believe there's still people who will believe he's guilty because they just don't want.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I saw, it's either an interview or a documentary on YouTube, and Geordie Chandler, who's still around, goes to film classes, and this particular person, I think you know where I'm going with this, in the same film class as Geordie Chandler. Geordie Chandler was wearing a Michael Jackson t-shirt.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's going on, and why won't he come forward and just admit what went on? Would he be?
Because it's called complete and utter embarrassment. I would love, and you've just said it,
Mm,
either before or after the second film, he comes forward and says it was all a lie
tell it
on
like
national TV. Special announcement, Sky News Live. Geordie Chandler says it was all a lie.
So let's hypothetically then go with that and say, let's say that happened. Would Michael then be exempt in the eyes of the media, or would they still? I just feel like there's people who just don't want him to be a good person. They just don't like him, and it just suits who they are to see him as this monster. I mean, if that happened tomorrow and Geordie Chandler came out and he said, look, it was a lie, I'm sorry for any damage I've caused or my part in it, but it was my father. I was a young, impressionable kid. I mean, he was only a kid. I don't think anybody particularly blames him, but like Mike, you will always have the lunatic fans then who might go after him. And I mean, look, me and you put a video out on here, and we'll have fans attacking us in the comments section. So can you imagine?
Yeah, we're huge fans of Michael and Prince.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. The most fascinating thing is one's opinion, but public opinion and how it shifts.
Yeah. Do you watch TV anymore, Mike? Like terrestrial, normal TV? I don't really watch it.
No, I don't. I mean,
I don't watch it. I watch it at work because I'm in certain locations where there's guys I work with who watch daytime TV and stuff like that. So I see bits of it, but I don't particularly watch it. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus sometimes, Prime.
it's all streaming now. It's all streaming,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So what I mean is, are they relevant? Are they in control of the narrative anymore? The mainstream media, obviously, like you still have like the tabloids and the supermarkets and things like that, the newspapers.
I think obviously from what's going on now in the world, people can't believe what has happened.
What do you mean when you say that? What do you mean exactly? What do you mean?
Happened that we thought would never happen.
What regarding the movie, the biopic?
The movie, everything of what's going on everywhere.
And what have you said? We're currently at 850 million at the box office.
We are at 850 million. It will probably hit 900 next weekend, and then it opens in Japan. No, is it open in Japan yet?
Not yet. I don't believe so.
No. It's opened in Russia, hasn't it? Because they did it at the stadium where he performed.
They showed it in the stadium.
Incredible.
Mm.
It was unbelievable. My cousin said, I hope they do something like that references that. And they did. They're actually believable. They're doing everything that the fans would want, right? Then it opens in Japan. I believe, I'm sure I've seen it. I'm sure it's open in Japan.
Maybe it is. I haven't.
Or early. Maybe they've had, I don't know. But it's still got to open, I believe, on the 12th of June somewhere.
I want to say the 12th in Japan, but maybe I'm wrong. Has it opened in South Korea yet? Because that's another market.
I'm not
sure.
Sure, but I believe there were two more territories where it had to open. One was Russia, and then there was another one.
There's another one. I mean, Japan. I think it's Japan because I know that's going to be a big one. I know that's
right.
Now, Japan adore Michael, and when I say adore him, I mean,
oh my God!
I mean they worship Michael over in Japan. They worship him. And another thing,
that's an easy 100 million made. Listen, folks, there's how much is left to get to 1 billion? Not that much.
Not that much.
Not that much.
The war between Russia and the Ukraine is, I believe, nearly 4 years old. 3 years, 8 months, or something like that.
Right.
And right now, in a stadium in Russia, Michael Jackson's movie is playing in a stadium. That is unbelievable.
It kind of defies the laws of physics in terms of what is going on in reality.
Is there any like
There
I hate
isn't. There isn't. There is no one else.
I don't think
There's
there is.
no one else. No, no. While
I
the
don't.
world is in peril,
Yeah,
this man is bringing people together, and he's not even here. He's not even here. We may think he is. We're saying he could be alive and hiding out somewhere, but he's not here. And this man is bringing people together.
I really want them to bring out a sing along version of this movie.
They really do need to do that.
I thought a few weeks ago that would help to the billion, but I don't
They haven't
think
needed it. They haven't needed it.
the momentum like is such that it's going to go over a billion without that. But they could still bring out the sing along version.
But put it this way, word of mouth has got around so fast about this film. You've had people say this and that, but literally people have listened and they have taken their own accord to go and see it. Not once, not twice, but multiple times.
You know what, Mike? I absolutely love this moment. I mean,
I love it. It's unreal. It's unprecedented, my friend.
Sometimes somebody like you will just say something to me about it, and I just get this feeling in me of just like, I just love it.
Because you know why, my friend? Because this was always supposed to happen. We didn't think we were going to get it, but we have it. We are living in it right now. And I can't wait for when it reaches this certain benchmark and we come back on here and Russ is here.
And Russ is here and we do a big celebration episode.
My God, it's going to be a humongous celebration episode. And it will be called How We Got Here.
I love your
What a feeling. Literally, though, what an ultimate feeling. It's making me feel how I used to feel when I was younger.
Do you know what's amazing, Mike, is that A, we're not used to always feeling like this, being Michael fans, but B, when we do feel like this, it's bigger than any other artist imaginable.
It's bigger than anything. It really is. And I'm experiencing this with you. I'm experiencing with Russ, and most of all, I'm experiencing this with my child and my family and my cousins.
And likewise, Ross got to experience it with his son as well. So, like,
you know what I mean?
Ross with his son,
and your experience with your wife.
It's beautiful, though, isn't it? It's beautiful.
I'm thinking now and looking back on when we were younger and when we first heard Bad. And we first heard his songs, and that was 35 years ago. It's mad, and we are getting the same feeling we got back then. It's incredible.
It's incredible. Would you have taken this journey if you were told back in the 80s that it was going to have extreme highs, but it was also going to have extreme lows? Would you have chosen to be part of this fandom? I mean, not that you choose it, because I always believe that it chooses you. I believe that the Michael fandom. I don't believe we decide. I think it just
no. But that's so interesting you've said that. I had a conversation with my auntie earlier, and I told her, you are one of the major reasons why I became a Michael Jackson fan. And I'll tell you why, because I always used to take Moonwalker from my cousin's house. I always used to take it. Every time we went to visit, I would always take it. We had Thriller, the video. We had The Legend Continues, the video. We didn't have Moonwalker. And every single time I'd go to my cousin's house, my auntie's house, that would be coming with me. And I said to my auntie today, because she said she's going to watch it, I get so many memories, so many happy memories of my life, of who I was with, obviously meeting you now, Waz, but I get so many happy memories of my life. I'm going to be 40 this year, and you look back and you look at the happiest the happiest times, the greatest times of your life, and Michael was always there.
Yeah, same actually, yeah.
Prince was there, but more so Michael, because it was who I was there with. It's who you're experiencing it with.
Yeah.
And I just remember being in Presswich listening to the bad vinyl at a neighbour's house.
It was amazing hearing that in those days, because to me, it sounded unlike anything.
Anything. And I remember seeing "And America's Top 10 Continues." Did you ever see that?
I don't know. I don't think so. Well, no,
With Casey Kasem. Hey, Scoob! Scoob! Oh, Scoob, what are you doing over there? Come on, Scoob! The guy who did the voice of Shaggy in Scooby-Doo, Casey Kasem. Yeah, he was a radio jockey.
I didn't have that in Ireland.
He did the show. And I remember seeing the America's Top 10, Michael Jackson, and every goddamn song was his.
It's mad.
It was insane.
Insane. It's insane. I remember hearing the album. I had it on cassette when I was a kid. And like, it just sounded like I was listening into other worlds. Like you listen to something like Librarian Girl and the sonic landscapes that it here. You know, all those subliminal sounds that you're hearing in the different layers. It's just unbelievable.
And how strange you mentioned that. We've met 4 people who were in the Liberian Girl video.
Really?
Lou Ferrigno, Corey Feldman, Billy D. Williams, Danny Glover.
Wow, Danny Glover.
And obviously I'm missing somebody out.
Dan Aykroyd. Weird Al, wasn't it?
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Rocky. Apollo Creed.
Oh, yeah, he is in the video. That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Then there's one more other person, because you mentioned Dan Aykroyd, but there's another person who comes out on the motorbike with him, Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, I can actually see him with Dan Aykroyd in my mind on the bike.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting from that video. We've met quite a few people who were in that video. And I remember asking one of these individuals, what was it like at that time? And they said it was indescribable.
It was. I mean, that video was made towards the end of the Bad Era campaign. So Michael was at his zenith, wasn't he, in terms of
literally.
You know, he looked and lived like a god.
Here's another question, ask people on here, when was Michael at his complete peak? Because that's an interesting one.
It is an interesting one because I see Michael's career as peaking at different things at different times. I suppose in terms of public perception, it would have been probably the late 80s, but in terms of artistic greatness, is it dangerous?
There you go. I say, you know what I'm going to say, Christ.
I would probably say, although History is my favorite album, I would say Dangerous is the more perfect moment. I mean, he was literally
the biggest thing. At that very point, there was nothing bigger.
I mean, it was like an evolution of the Bad Era, but it was, look at that T-shirt, beautiful T-shirt. And I remember getting that album as well, and just, I think I got that on cassette tape as well, but just folding out the cassette tape, and I was behind on CDs even when I was a kid. The cover, I mean, that I think that's my favorite album cover because it is just unbelievable. The artwork on that cover of his eyes and all of the things that tie into his psyche. And
well, what I'm going to ask you, what did this particular image mean to you?
I remember seeing it, looking at his eyes and hearing the music and looking at the cover, and I just thought the guy at that time, I just felt there was no end to the man's talent, to the mystery behind him, to the intrigue, I just thought he was a magician. Can't describe the kind of excitement behind it, you know, like Michael sort of made you feel excited in a way that nobody else could, and the Dangerous Era was the same. The excitement, the anticipation, I don't know, he was next level. It just made me feel next level. Like, I couldn't believe it, man. When I got the Dangerous album for Christmas, and looking at the cover, listening to the music, putting the cassette on, pressing play, the volume turned up from my parents listening to music the night before, hearing the shattering glass, and it's scaring the life out of me because the speakers were up high, and it like jumped the life out of me and then Jam coming on and just listening through to the whole album and just the ups. Well, I love the entire album, all of the new Jack Swing tracks, all of the second. I love everything on Dangerous, and a lot of people, they don't favor a few of the new Jack Swing tracks. For me, they're amongst my absolute favorites. I absolutely love them.
If you had to pick one song, what's your standout song on that album? I'm really curious.
In terms of up tempos, in terms of
what's the one that really stands out with you on that album?
I mean, there's the obvious ones like Remember the Time, Love in the Closet. I love Jam, but you know what I absolutely adore is Dangerous itself. I'll go with Dangerous because I love Michael's songs related to, what are they called, femme fatales, or like, women that are potentially dangerous.
Do you know what was the song that always stuck out for me on that album? Giving to Me.
Well, yeah.
What an interesting song. It's almost like the Dirty Diana version for the Dangerous album.
It is. Undeniably, it's the Dirty Diana. It's incredible. It's incredible. There's another friend of mine, Tony. I don't know if he'll watch this video, but Tony's 3 favorites from Dangerous are Who Is It, Give In To Me, Will You Be There? You know that trilogy of songs, that sort of, that's his favorite portion of the album, and it's magnificent.
Yeah.
It's magnificent. I don't know if you have Dangerous on vinyl, but
I do have it on vinyl.
Well, I believe now. Have you seen the footage of Michael Jackson and Bruce Swedien working on the track sequence?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they intentionally did this or not, but it works beautifully as a double vinyl in terms of the track sequencing. It is. If you later on, when you come across your album, pick up your album and look at the 4 different sides of the Dangerous album, and it makes so much sense as a double vinyl album.
Very interesting.
It's phenomenal, man. It is phenomenal. Like, it's the way the way each side is sequenced. It's phenomenal on vinyl for that.
Do you think that's why it was taking him so long to get that album done?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, at that point, he was very much driven, motivated, cared deeply about how he wanted it presented, and absolutely, I would say so. I would hope so. I would think so. I think, like, no, I mean, like, I stream most of my music in this day and age, like most people. But I think the CD of Dangerous sounds amazing. But I think the vinyl of Dangerous, for the artwork and for this track sequencing, it makes so much sense. And if you ever want to sort of make the case for Dangerous being the best MJ album, I think vinyl is one of the ultimate pluses, because you have the artwork in that 12 by 12, and then you have the track sequencing. It's a double vinyl. It looks incredible. The album sounds incredible. The production, for me, like, it's chock full of hits, and it's chock full of incredible album tracks. I love all of it. I really do. I love all. I think it works brilliant. I think it works brilliant. I've had arguments with people in the past because I've made the argument that I felt Invincible was front loaded with too many up tempos that sound the same. And then people have made the argument, well, what about Dangerous? Dangerous is front loaded with a lot of the new Jack Swing tracks. But I think there's just something beautiful about Dangerous, the way it works. It works more for me, I think, on Dangerous. I don't know. I think it does.
But what's the one song for me that just does it for me? Kills everything on Invincible. What song is it? I've mentioned it. What's the greatest song?
Don't tell me, because it's one of the up tempo.
It's one of your ones. I mentioned it last.
Break of Dawn. Break of Dawn. No, is it Break of Dawn?
Yeah. Unbelievable. People can say what they want to say about the Invincible album, but my lord, That song.
Same. I mean, for me, Mike, when I listened to the Invincible album, that was the song that blew me away. And I hear a lot of
I
fans.
will never forget hearing that song. I will never forget hearing that song.
Now, are you aware of a difference in the production of that song? Well, basically, what I'm getting at is that the backing vocals are done by Dr. Freeze. So,
now, have you heard the real version?
no. The real version. So there's a different version of it. I don't believe I've heard. I don't believe it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Go and listen to the version of, what's he called? Dr. Freeze?
Dr. Freeze. Okay.
Bearing in mind, everyone, Mr. Freeze, the ice popsicle man, that's me in the advert. So we're not getting those two. We're not getting those two mixed up. Whenever you pick up a freeze pop, think of me. But
this everybody is the guy from the TV as well. So Mike's done a lot of adverts.
But did you see the other one that I sent you? And it's just been tracking on Instagram.
Is that the controversial, explicit, potential?
Yes.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. What happened to that? Did that get in trouble, or did that?
Well, I think that was down to an interesting marketing strategy. I mean, people go check it out. It's quite an interesting advert. It's called For Goodness Shakes. I think you'll be able to find it. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok, apparently. Yeah. But go and listen. Are you ready for your rib cage to be shook? Are you ready for your pulse to beckon?
Absolutely.
Go and listen to Dr. Freeze, Break of Dawn, the original version with Michael Jackson. Oh my God.
I have to hear that. I'm really intrigued.
Really, you've got Break of Dawn, but then you've got the raw version of Break of Dawn. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I've got to hear that.
When you listen to it, you've got to message me back.
Immediately, I will.
I remember when I first heard this and found it. It's a picture of them two, Michael Jackson, Dr. Freeze, just an interesting picture of them. And I think they're stood in Neverland. And then I listened to it and I put it on full blast and I was like, wow. So this is the version, but then Michael Jackson's taken this and turned it into his. Very interesting.
I love that song. That was the standout for me on my first, and it still is one of my favorites.
And it's on an acoustic guitar.
Oh, wow. So warm sort of vibe to it, a nice.
You are going to love this. And people, write in if you've heard that track, that version before. But honestly, I can't stress enough you are going to be wowed by listening to this. I really wish they would bring out that version as well, an actual version.
Maybe we're going to evolve now after this biopic into a situation where we're going to maybe get something like we've been getting from Prince, like super deluxe versions of albums. For a while, or for maybe up until now, it seems to be all sort of like Thriller motivated, Thriller, you know what I mean? We got Thriller 40, but then we got Off the Wall, we got Bad. So we got the Quincy Jones albums.
The thing is, you're talking to the biggest Dangerous fan here.
Yeah, but were we supposed to get 25, weren't we, or something a few years ago, but they didn't do it.
The only thing with some pure satisfaction that I got, and what you probably got and everybody else, was when a great channel, and shout out to him, The Detail, did that whole anniversary thing of the Dangerous era, the album. I have to stress what an incredible YouTube channel The Detail is. Shout out to him. Incredible.
I did watch his Dangerous thing. Do you know what? He released that in little bits and then he put it all together.
Incredible. That was the only satisfying thing we got from Dangerous, but we've never got an anniversary album. The only thing we got was the album that you showed. I don't even think I've got that version. But when they re-released it in 2001, do you know when they re-released his albums with the new...
the special edition.
The special editions with the cover and everything. That was the only new thing of Dangerous. That was it. but there was no anniversary with tons and tons of, was it 150 tracks, 200 tracks he did? All of that, all in a nice special edition. I would love that, and I am, again, waiting and watching until they do it. Hopefully, the first clip of when he comes flying out of the toaster in the next film, they will go, do you know what? We just need to put a Dangerous Deluxe out, please.
Do you think this now, Mike, is going to change the landscape for like authentic Michael Jackson releases? I mean, surely to God.
Absolutely, because they had run into a situation where anything that they did, something was going to try and stop it. Something was going to try and stop it. Hey, but on this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, nothing has stopped this film. So his estate are going to pedal forward, and they are going to go all in. I believe they're going to go all in now. We are finally going to get some unreleased. And again, I think we're going to get anniversary. Do you know what I think they're finally going to do? I think they're finally going to release the Real Victory Tour on Blu-ray.
I mean, how many years are we waiting for that? You know?
Well, what's interesting, and you'll have to get this up, you'll have to get it up. They actually did have a video release ready for the Victory Tour. The cover is online, but Michael stopped it.
Michael vetoed it, yeah.
He did, because I don't think he wanted any of his brothers making anything of anything to do with Thriller.
That'll be it, won't it? That'll be it. So if that was shot and sort of almost ready to go to print, as you said, they had the cover design.
I'll have to send it to you. I'll send it to you, and it's the real cover design ready.
Well, if you send that,
very cool.
I mean, you've seen the Thriller 40 documentary. You've seen some of that footage of the Victory Tour.
It's unbelievable. But for years, I was like, other than the Bucharest DVD that was released, I remember that wasn't released. That wasn't released on DVD. You had to get that in the
Ultimate Collection.
The Ultimate Collection. That was the only way you could get it. It was planted in there, so you had to get it. But there was no, I don't know what's gone on there, because there's been no Bad Tour Blu-ray with a Bad Tour documentary of him going out all over the world. They did that for TV, but what I'm saying is they've not done a Blu-ray documentary of the Bad Tour. Obviously, Spike Lee did his documentaries on his albums or whatever, but no Blu-ray for Bad Tour, no Blu-ray for a specific show. Obviously, they did the Wembley show. They did that one thing where you could get that for one of the Wembley shows. The history tour.
What's your take on it, Mike? The History Tour. Do you think it's?
I don't know what it is. I think there's a huge problem with who's getting what from this.
Yeah.
In terms of how are they? People have done the shows. There's going to be pay disputes between people who are involved in organising it, people who directed it. Obviously, it's Michael's vision, but then there's people who've helped him with that. Then you've got the band members. You've got this. I think that's why they've chosen not to do it, because it'll be too complicated.
Yeah. Did you get the Prince Welcome to America box set?
No, I do need to get it. Is it incredible?
It's beautiful. It's a thing of real beauty. It's a thing of absolute beauty, but it comes with a concert, and the concert
Have you got the 1999 box set?
Only on CD.
Spin it round.
Only on CD.
Do you know how much that's worth now?
How much?
400 quid.
400 quid on CD?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm sure it is, yeah.
Wow. I did not know. That's mad. That's mad. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I was at work. I brought a guy to Blackpool for a holiday for a few days, and on the last day I went into HMV in Blackpool, and I bought it on the way home. So but yeah, I mean, but
how much did you get that for at the time? Was that when it came out on the release?
Yeah, well, it might have been a sort of a week or two later, and I was desperate to get it, but I didn't get around to buying it. And we were in HMB, and I'd seen it, and then we kind of went about our business. And then on the last day, I said to him, I said, 1 second, I said, I just need to pop in here and get myself something. And I
Yeah.
bought that. Do you have it? Do you have this?
No, so I made it a thing. So I collected I've obviously got all of his albums, other than the Black Album, other than Crystal Ball. And again, I've told you that's worth like £700,000, nearly hitting that now, right?
Yeah.
I've got all of his other albums, but I wanted to obviously have the original CDs and the original vinyls.
I mean, I have most of the Prince originals up there, but then I'm missing one or two things. I'm missing one, and I don't have the NPG releases. Well, I have the one with the gun, as you said.
Yeah. What's the one he did where he was not named anything?
Emancipation, the Love Album.
No, it was with the band. What was it called?
Oh, when was that, in the 90s?
Where he was wearing the veil over his face at Virgin Record Store in London. I think he called himself. What was his? Oh my God.
The Thing of Victor?
Camille.
Oh, Camille, yeah.
So he called himself Camille on the album, but he couldn't say Prince and he couldn't say the symbol. So he got around it by naming just the band. But obviously he was there with a bloody veil over his face.
Yeah.
That's when he did the famous interview where he wouldn't speak.
That's right. And he would whisper to...
And he's whispering to his wife.
And she would, yeah. I remember that.
Interpret it. Did you ever see when Michael Jackson did that?
No, I don't believe I have.
So he did. And this was what I was... I love the film.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Mary, I love the film.
Oh.
But I thought in the film we were going to see when Michael was sat with his red top on, sat with LaToya, dancing in the cloud.
At the fountain outside. Yeah.
It's a wonderful day.
Yeah. I feel so gay. Is that what he says, or something like that? Or
something like that.
Yeah. Or maybe
I thought we were going to see a lot of his do you know what we did? We did get that in the film, his relationship with LaToya. But I thought it's that image of them sat at the fountain. LaToya's got a cowboy hat on with a yellow shoulder pad.
He's got the red.
Michael's asking her, what do you want to achieve? And she says, a multifaceted artist and all of this.
I want to have a career like you, I think she says as well. And
I thought we were good. But they did capture that. I have to give it to them. They did capture it in the film. But it was more of the moment.
An iconic fan sort of moment. I mean, if they had recreated that in the movie, the fans would have, like the hardcores would have.
I was waiting. Were you waiting for that?
I was anticipating it. Yeah, I was half expecting something.
And when he comes out, I didn't know you guys were shooting. I'll be right down.
Yeah.
But I will say, all the time, man, you get some sleep and I'll see you later, Louis. We did get it. We did get it.
Yeah, in another type of way.
We did. I was so pleased we saw Louis the Llama. I've not shut up about Louis the Llama to my brother. I even said, you know what? I might even have Louis the Llama at one of these special occasions.
Imagine it, man. Imagine it.
Good God.
It was nice to see Louis the Llama, wasn't it? It was.
But that moment of him, me and my cousin rewatched certain clips, and you probably did it, and I'm assuming you probably did it with your missus. You rewatched certain iconic clips, going, this is going to be in it.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be in it. When he's with LaToya. So I'm getting to what I said. Michael Jackson sits down in a yellow top. This is at Havenhurst with his glasses on. Hi, this is Michael Jackson. And then LaToya's interviewing him. Have you seen that?
With the awards, and he's presenting her with an award.
I think so.
Yeah, it's, I've seen it. I've only seen it recently, actually. I might have seen it a few years ago. So funny.
But then he did an interview where he's with LaToya. I've not seen this for a long time, but I'm going to have to look. He did an interview with LaToya to somebody else. and LaToya is answering for him.
Yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah.
George Michael did an interview. He said one of the most interesting things was when he met Michael Jackson and he went to Havenhurst. But when he met Michael Jackson was wearing his aviators and Michael Jackson didn't say a word.
Yeah.
I remember seeing another interesting thing where Michael Jackson was appearing at other artists' concerts. So he walked out behind Freddie Mercury. Have you seen that footage?
I have, yeah. It's amazing. That
Incredible. Such an interesting, iconic moment. But then I saw images of David Bowie sat with Michael Jackson with a few women backstage. And they are both very stern with their glasses on. And again, it's, are they budging? Are they... Do you get what I mean? It's that thing again with Prince and Michael Jackson. And I think after Paul McCartney, I think things changed there. And anybody who collaborated with him had to realize they were there to serve him.
Definitely.
Freddie Mercury did State of Shock with Michael Jackson. Have you heard that version?
I've heard that, yeah.
So why wasn't that on the Victory album? Why did he choose Mick Jagger instead? Was it because Mick Jagger was less intimidating than Freddie Mercury? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you've seen Freddie Mercury. You've seen Live Aid, obviously. You've seen
Oh my God.
Have you seen him on Live Aid?
Do you know what my favorite song is on that on what One Vision?
Oh, I love it, man.
When he comes out. Oh my God.
He's just he is stage charisma personified.
Hey, we were gonna get a Sacha Baron Cohen version of that film, weren't we?
I know. What would that have been like?
Well, what were the phrases he said? I want to do and portray the Freddie Mercury that had dwarfs and
But you know what? I read a comment from a fan recently regarding Borat, the movie as well. And he said, like, all of the other members were portrayed as perfect because they're all alive and they were all involved in the making of it. Where Freddie was portrayed as the way he was, but he was toned down compared to his real life.
Yeah.
We didn't really see it was sort of like a Freddie Mercury movie with the band as side character, a supporting character. But it was supposed to be a band movie, wasn't it? But it's more like...
But from what I heard, Sacha Baron Cohen said, this is the Freddie Mercury movie, not the Queen movie. And right there and then, they went, it's not happening.
I'd love to see that version with him.
Oh my God, can you imagine that?
Yeah, he really is well want to go there. He would really want to like take it places that that's not going to be a PG movie, I don't think.
Oh no. But how fascinating would that have been?
Oh my God, it would have been fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I heard something about a week ago on the radio about George Michael, and I don't know if I heard they're doing a play or if they're doing a bio of his life. I think it might be a play. Are you a George fan? Because
I think I did hear about this, but yeah, I think are they doing a play, but then they're bringing out a live tour and doing it in the IMAX theaters.
Maybe that's what I heard. I'll be honest, I was going to work.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Is there footage of George Michael and MJ, Michael Jackson? I'd love that. I'd love to see.
I don't believe so. I think the only footage I've ever seen of George Michael and Michael Jackson is when, I think, is it the 1988 Music Awards? And Michael Jackson comes out and does a speech and George Michael kind of claps and reacts to him. But I've only heard that interview where George Michael said the encounter he had was where he went to Havenhurst to meet Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson's there with him with his aviators on and he didn't say a word.
What's your take on that? Is
I think
George Michael was quite upset by that, I would imagine.
He's probably thinking,
What am I doing here? Is he?
what am I doing here? But what Michael Jackson is this?
Mm,
Because I've not seen this Michael Jackson before. I know little Michael Jackson. Then I know Michael Jackson growing up in the Jackson 5. Then I've seen solo Michael, then Thriller. But okay, interesting.
mm.
No emotion, not showing, because what's one of the most revealing things, people? Your eyes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the number one thing in particular with Michael Jackson, he would always put his sunglasses on when he didn't want people to see what he was really thinking.
In the biopic, when the elevator opens, and now we're seeing Michael Jackson going into to meet the lawyers and leading up to the Branca scene, is that the first scene with the shades on, with the?
I think so.
Yeah.
But that's the first scene of him not showing any vulnerability.
Yeah.
And he's dressing a certain way to get a certain reaction. To anybody who encounters him, whether it's people in suits, lawyers, money people, his family, he's making a statement by the way he's dressed and the way he's behaving.
100%.
I think one of the most interesting things I heard, and there was the thing he did called the Michael Jackson home videos.
Yeah, I love the home videos, actually.
And it was quite interesting. I think we've spoken about it before, but there was an interesting clip, and I think it was just before he was doing Thriller. And I don't know whether he was doing this as part of his preparation or what he was trying to portray, but he said, after this, people are never, ever going to look at me the same way, because most of the time, people tend to be rude to me. I thought that was very interesting. Think about it. He's a very, very, very shy, kind person, but that would be deemed as someone to take advantage of because of their kindness. He probably, and obviously spoke about this, that's what he did experience. What do? He then creates this personality and this particular way of conveying how he is in order to deal with his surroundings. And it's the same with Prince. The cold stare, not speaking, being very assertive by not saying anything. People not saying anything is even louder than people screaming.
Fascinating.
And a big fascinating thing is, since we're in the realm of showing and talking about conveying and being assertive, what was the comment? And I won't impersonate his voice because I'm trying to be obviously what we're talking about. His secrets lie with me. And when I want to tell the world, I will tell it. Conrad Murray.
Did he say that? Conrad Murray?
Conrad Murray did an interview. And he said, Michael's biggest secret lies with me. And when I am ready to tell the world, I will tell the world.
Wow.
What's your take on that? What's your take on that, people?
I mean, there could only be one secret, and that would be, I mean, obviously what we were getting back to earlier is that he's alive. He's still alive.
Try and find that interview. Try and find it's easy to find. He said, Michael was my best friend, or I was his best friend. The only person I trust is you, Dr. Conrad, apparently. He said,
his biggest secret lies with me.
Biggest secret lies with me. And when I'm ready to tell the world, I will tell the world.
What do you reckon? Have you any opinion on that? Have you any? I mean, do you think he actually has a big secret that he's keeping from the world regarding Michael? Do you think it's the secret?
This man was under the influence when he was around this individual.
I mean, we spoke about that.
We spoke about that last time. And we've only heard one recording of that. We haven't heard everything else, what was said or whatever, but that could be so many different things. But I'm curious, do you think he's referring to? If so, whether you believe him or not, but what is he referring to when he says that?
That's an odd one, isn't it?
And you've never heard that before, Az?
I don't recall this. I think, how many years ago would we have been talking about, like, soon after MJ's passing?
So it would have been when he, obviously, I think Conrad got out of jail or whatever, but he went and did a round of interviews, didn't he?
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I would have heard maybe portions and bits and pieces. I followed the AEG trial. That led to
Right. I remember you said.
I watched all of it, the whole thing. Quite upsetting actually to watch that, just the sort of stuff behind the scenes stuff that was
Yeah.
going on. I don't know, man. There's just so much mystery about Michael Jackson, even in death. I mean, I'm open-minded. I'd love if part of me would love if he was still around. I really would.
What could he be referring to?
I don't know. I mean, to me, it sort of alludes to it can only be maybe two things: some deep, dark secret, or the fact that he's still around, he's still alive. Let me ask you, Mike, what do you think? Do you think Michael Jackson is still around? Honestly,
This man,
there's no right or wrong answer to this for
this
viewers
man
as well as listeners.
knew how to disguise himself. This man knew how to fool the public. This man knew how to put stories out about himself. This man managed to recreate himself in front of the whole world from how he was born into something that he wanted to betray. This man could pull an illusion on anybody. I believe this man could. He's the only person I can think of that could pull that off. And I do believe he could have faked his own death. Absolutely.
I mean, the motivation to do it.
And you're asking me, do I think he's still alive? Yes, I do.
Okay. I think where we are in the world at the moment, I think it's plausible. It's an acceptable answer. For me, it's not outside the realm of like impossible. I think it's possible. For me, I think I'm pulled two ways. I think I can sort of believe it, but is that because I want it so bad? I love the idea of Michael Jackson still being alive, being tucked up, warm and safe somewhere, away from all of the sort of madness, being able to relax, to see out the rest of his years and to opt out of the situation he was in. I think that's a beautiful thing, actually, if that be the case. But then there's the other side of me, I suppose, the logical side that kind of says that can't possibly be true and he's got to be dead and all of this kind of stuff. But I mean,
the flip side is it something that would reveal something about himself?
So if it would reveal something about himself, what would it reveal? Because I'm looking at you. I think you've got formed ideas about this and you've given it a lot of thought. Tell me, speak, tell the viewers. Open up.
I have to be very careful what I say because I met someone very close to him and this particular thing is very, very sensitive subject.
And it's sensitive in a number of ways. It's sensitive to fans as well because...
absolutely in the same boat as you.
If there was anybody on earth who would have reason to do that, it would have been Michael Jackson. I can't actually think of anybody greater in that situation. I mean, well, there was nobody in that situation, was there?
Well, there you go.
Nobody in that situation.
And that answers a lot to what you've just said. There was no one in his situation.
Plus, to expand on it, they made unequivocally more money from the death of Michael Jackson than the This Is It concerts would have made. Now, the This Is It concerts sold out, but they made more from the This Is It concerts as a documentary that played in
as the movie release.
The movie release they made far more from what happened than what was supposed to happen.
How much did This Is It make? The movie.
I don't know what it made, but I do know that it's the biggest.
Was it 400 million?
Something like that.
Right, 400, yeah.
So you had the box office, you had the physical release, but then you had the tickets as well. You had the tickets. You had
the tickets. They kept the ticket.
We kept our tickets, but I mean, so the idea around the tickets was that Michael helped design the tickets. But what I will say is they made more from what happened than they could have, and they would have been a resounding success if it had happened, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if it would have happened, but maybe it did happen. As you said, he gave the press conference. He said, "This is the final curtain call." Okay. And then this was it. Just it did happen in a different way than.
Do you know what's come to light recently? People who were with him at that time, they said he was drunk.
Really.
Mm.
Mm.
And whatever happened to Tome?
I don't know.
We never heard from him again after that.
No.
He was there, and then the second he was gone, disappeared.
It's a strange one. Now, somebody did comment in the last video. Is it Jamie or James? Jamie or James, if you're watching, I think.
Yeah.
And I think his comment was that he had been aware of Dave. I hadn't heard of Dave up until Michael Jackson's death.
I'd never heard of him.
You know, but again, like you look at someone like Dave, that you look at that lady who sat at the funeral.
Yes.
You look at the ambulance footage of somebody getting out, and then, of course, we have the
covered up and running up the stairs, and
and now recently we have like the story that it was fake. But I mean, anyone can say anything. We didn't have an open casket, but James Brown had an open casket, and I'm not saying that like we needed an open casket or anything, but like I don't know.
And I'll never ever forget watching Michael Jackson at James Brown's funeral. That was fascinating. It was almost like he was rehearsing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that quite soon before? Wasn't that quite sort of? Did James Brown pass quite close to Michael? Was Michael like?
I think James Brown passed away. Was it in 2007?
Or was it 7? Okay, so still 2 years.
Yeah. And I'll never forget when that stupid reporter says to him, Michael Jackson's there in his silver suit, there in his aviators. What brings you here today, Michael?
Oh,
how he kept his composure, and he just says, not in his high voice, he goes, James Brown, what brings you here today? What, come to a bakery?
It's mad, isn't it? Like the stuff that he had to sort of.
I don't know. I think they would do anything to wind him up at that point.
I think they were just openly trolling him throughout his life.
Yeah, well, he had that trial that people wanted to see him go down, and people wanted to see him go to jail. They wanted to see Michael Jackson in a jumpsuit, eating porridge off the floor, and people mocking him, and people saying this and saying that, and people can go, ha, you were there. But you're there now.
Or that's what they wanted. That's what
they really
wanted.
did. They really did. But you know what? They lied, and they got caught out on their lies.
Yeah, I think I would have given up on humanity if he had gone down for that. I don't think I would have been able to cope with him in prison.
I always knew as he was innocent, and I knew he was not going to go to jail. And I remember saying it to family and friends, and I just said it all the way through. Watch it. I watched it live. The verdict, when they were releasing the birds. That woman was releasing the birds.
Yeah.
The audio is really rubbish. Remember? We the defendant on the Pernavini. We the defendant. I was like, what? And then they're just throwing birds, and you're like, what? I can't actually hear what they're saying.
Do you know what? Right when that verdict was announced, I was in the West End in Brisbane, in Australia, with a guy. Chris was his name, who was a friend of mine at the time from Northern Ireland, and he's not with us anymore now. He died about 4 or 5 years ago. And
no way.
I was walking down the West End with Chrissy, who I'd introduced to Michael Jackson through the Ultimate Collection and the Bucharest concert, which came out that year.
Yeah.
And I had a phone call from my brother to say Michael Jackson was found innocent on everything. And you know what? I don't even think I was aware that the verdict was being read out. But I think mentally, I cut myself off from the trial. I think mentally I detached, and I went to Australia. Now, I was going to Australia anyway, but I think I just opted out because I don't think I could have. I don't think I could deal with it at that time. But my brother phoned me and he said he found innocent on everything. And I walked down that street with my friend, poor Chrissy, who's no longer with us, and I lost touch with Chrissy. And about 2 years ago at work, I decided to look him up online. And there was a piece on BBC News to say Christopher Troll in passed away from some virus in the hospital. He was given the wrong medications, and oh mate, I was really, really upset about that. Poor Chrissy, a lovely guy.
Wow.
So that's my memory of the verdict. It ties in with Chrissy.
That's interesting.
He was, I mean, it was a long time ago, but in the intervening years, then he went back to Northern Ireland. He got married. He had a family.
Amazing.
But just getting back to it, I remember there was a guy in the hostel where I stayed in Brisbane then as well who deplored Michael Jackson and hated his guts. And I got into a big argument with him, and he was like, he's this and he's that. And I was like, no, he's not. And do you know why he was annoyed actually? Was because they also reissued, as well as the Ultimate Collection. Around this time, there was also number ones, and there was also a reissue of Moonwalker on DVD at the time. And I played the Moonwalker in the hostel, and loads of people from the hostel sat around and watched Moonwalker on a really big TV.
Right.
So this guy couldn't accept the fact that I was watching Michael Jackson having a great time, and because but yeah, I'm gone down memory lane now because
that's really interesting. And I've gone down memory lane. I remember because I was working in a hotel or something at the time. This was just before I'd gone to America, and the newspaper, Michael's gone back to Florida to see Bubbles to get refreshed. Just nonsense. They really, really wanted to see him go down.
Oh, do you remember Nancy Grace? Nancy Grace?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Eileen Crow, if this man
where did she disappear to?
The next day, she didn't show up on her show. She was, what is it with people, though, human beings, and especially the media, that
they don't want to accept the truth that's presented in front of them.
No.
You got to remember, depending on what an individual will follow, even if it's the truth, he will go with not the truth, but that other thing.
That's it. There was a journalist there who went to cover the case, the court trial, called Aphrodite Jones.
I remember. She's done a lot, hasn't she?
She has, yeah. So
she's done a lot. She's become quite a big admirer of Michael's, hasn't she?
Well, she bought into
She realised it was total nonsense, didn't she?
She did, and she released a fantastic book called Conspiracy Theory, which I read when it came out, and I absolutely loved the book.
I think getting that book's pretty hard to get now, isn't it? I
think it is. Yeah, I think it was reissued actually, but maybe a first pressing is. I have one back in Ireland somewhere, but it's reissued. I think now. It's a great book. It presents all of the evidence, and it presents the evidence. It's like what the media didn't do is what she does in this book. But I believe as well, at the time, she went to shop the book around to the different publishers. Nobody wanted to touch a pro Michael Jackson book. Nobody wanted to publish it. So I don't know if it's self-published or she found a publishing house to publish it. Nobody had any interest because it was pro Michael Jackson. After the fact that he was found innocent. After the fact that nobody wanted it because it was what world, like what universe are we living in where the truth, because the truth doesn't fit with the self-invested narrative that makes a business money, doesn't jive with what they want, is dismissive because it's not what they want. It's crazy to me. It's crazy.
It's crazy, but the beautiful thing is right now, this moment, nothing's stopping this moment.
Nothing. Finally, the world has collectively woken up on the same day all together and realized that the guy is innocent. He's done nothing. All of the evidence is online. That documentary, Square One, is available here on YouTube, which deals with the 93 allegation and the fact that there's two trials. There's a civil trial and a criminal trial. The judge, for some reason, decided that which trial so usually you have your criminal trial and then your civil. So the judge, for some reason, put the civil ahead of the criminal, which meant Michael Jackson had to lay out all of his cards on the table, thus allowing the chancellors to tailor design their story around Michael Jackson's evidence. So if Michael Jackson lays all his cards on the table and he says, I was in this hotel on this night. I was here. I done this on the. Here's all my evidence. Now the prosecution has all of the evidence to tailor design their case, so he could have went to jail in '93 if And the other thing is, he subjected himself to a humiliating strip search. You know how shy this guy was. You know how.
Will we see that in the next one?
Well, from what I understand, is
they already shot that scene, but will we see that in the next one? I have a funny suspicion we might see that. I don't think they will mention the case or Chandler, but I'm under the impression they will show some element of that, and that is all. But we all know what that means when we see that.
Okay, so it could be done in a sort of a symbolic way, and it's sort of a way to suggest the situation without necessarily going into it. And would that be a way around it? Because I suppose if the Chandlers aren't mentioned, then they're not really breaking any law, are they?
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, no, they're not. They're not. I'm just going to grab my battery, ladies and gentlemen, 1 second, because I think the battery is going down. Keep talking. I'll be back 1 second.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. Jordan Chandler, if you're watching, come forward and tell the truth, and nobody will hold it against you or take it personally or blame you. We know you were a victim as well. You were coercive in your dad's need for money and his distorted need for some sort of sick, twisted revenge or get rich quick money scheme. And he's no longer with us anymore. You're a grown-up man. You're an adult. Come forward and lay your cards on the table and just help with changing the current situation, which is already changing now anyway. Well, things are moving forward now and things are improving and everybody's loving and celebrating Michael.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back.
We're back. We have liftoff.
But what's interesting, what Az is saying, that one thing can legally get them round that particular thing that they have an issue with explaining, including in the next film.
Yeah.
One particular thing can explain all without them verbally having to say any name or any scenario or give any dramatization of anything.
And that footage is shot and
they've done it. They've done it. They've got footage.
I mean, that must have taken an impact on Jafar Jackson. Like,
I bet Jafar's been through a whirlwind with this film, but
his emotion.
We have not seen all of it.
No.
Branca said it himself.
Yeah.
We haven't seen all of it. They had no intention of showing all of it. This is just part of it. Which is even more fascinating.
Will we see all of it in part 2 with more with extra additional footage, or will we see bits of it and hopefully one day we will see everything? I mean, what did they say recently? That they have like 30% of part 2 shot already, that was initially shot for part 1 when it was to be this big long 4-hour epic movie. I'd love a director's cut.
I don't think with this though, because they've shot everything for the next part, I don't think. Do you remember me when we were getting so excited saying we're going to get the special edition, we're going to get this, we're going to get that? I don't think we're going to get anything that's after the bad era included, because they have all of that for the next film. Do you know what was very interesting, ladies and gentlemen? Antoine Fuqua was not at the recent premiere.
Okay, you've hit on something that I wanted to mention earlier, and when we were talking about how the director of the Prince documentary series must feel. So did we speak recently, you and I, about the fact that it was rumored that Anton Fuqua nearly walked off the production of Michael because he was so annoyed, and apparently he ended up directing it from a van, a truck. If he has left for part 2, then like what happens there? Who comes in to
listen,
do that?
They have made there's two things here.
Mm.
They are going to hit $1 billion in a week, in 2 weeks. They have made their money. Now they've made all their money. Do they want to come back and revisit, or are they just happy with this?
Yeah, that's something that crossed my mind. That's something that crossed my
Because
mind.
what you said earlier, Antoine Fuqua
Yeah,
was furious
this is
that
what I heard. Have you heard this, Mike?
I saw it, that they had to give him, was it $15 million to come back?
Was it something like that? Yeah.
Finish it, apparently, or the reshoots of $15 million or whatever it was. But they had to get him to come back, and they had to get him to finish it, because I don't know, though. This is the media were, I don't know, as because the media was saying loads and loads of nonsense. Or they're not making it anymore, or they're sick, or people couldn't make it to set because there were chains around the door. Just nonsense. You don't want this film to happen. You don't want anything. You want Michael Jackson to go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he won't go away. He'll never go away.
No.
And this is their problem.
I mean, really, I suppose.
This is their problem, as this man will never go away. Generations upon generations of future of time, this man will never go away, and there's nothing they can do about it. They try to ruin his narrative of his life. They try to ruin the legacy of his career, but they cannot stop him.
And he may even be getting bigger than he was when he was alive.
And he is. But the incredible thing about this is the fact that they've gone to the lengths that they've gone, it's not stopping him.
No, if anything, it's propelling it. It's sort of...
The more they talk about him, the more rubbish they talk about him, the more free press they are giving Mr. Jackson.
That's it. And he wanted his life, didn't he, to be the greatest show on earth. I think we spoke about that last week. And,
the Prince biopic is going to be fascinating. The veil never dropped with him.
No.
I think along the way, the veil dropped with Michael. Because things got so crazy and so ridiculous, the veil dropped. But Prince didn't drop that veil.
No.
To his very last breath, and people were still puzzled why he lost his last breath. He breathed his last breath. People still don't understand what drove him to that very last moment. It's so strange. I think I said this on the last podcast. Yeah. They reintroduced, so I kept watching an old vintage documentary interview of a Canadian reporter going to Paisley Park, and Ingrid Chavez is taking them around Paisley Park, and they renewed the footage, and you see they go in the lift where Prince died.
Did you send me that a few weeks ago?
I did. That's the lift that they go in, and they're going down to the vault. That's the lift where he died, where he crawled out and he died. How strange when you watch it. That is eerie. He died.
Oh, it's so
weird. Very, very weird. Just them going in the elevator and they're talking and everything. And I was like, wow, that is where he died.
It was so sad as well that it was an elevator, and then people made jokes about...
well, they're on about let's go crazy and all of that, but...
the elevator and get you down, or whatever the lyric is again. And
I actually think the Prince biopic's going to be even more difficult to do than Michael Jackson's film.
Well, it's funny you say that, because that was going to be my question to you a few minutes ago, is how do they do a successful Prince movie? It's probably not fair to compare that to the Michael thing, because Michael is just so globally...
He is, but you know where you start? I know where they'll start, preparing for Purple Rain, the movie. They'll do a mixture of Purple Rain, behind the scenes of making Purple Rain, entwining it into the film. And then the Purple Rain that we're seeing becomes the film, and then it becomes reality. They'll almost do a new version, a new film of Purple Rain.
Yeah.
But a more elaborate, extended version with all the Prince's music. But if you look at Purple Rain, that's how they'll do it. They will not go into Prince's personal life. they will not.
And that's the
The
thing.
things we've spoken about today, as the whole thing with Prince, apparently, with his relationships, how he treated people, supposedly what happened when he was young with family members or whatever, that will not be touched upon. We'll start him curling his hair like he does in Let's Go Crazy in the Purple Rain film, and they will do an extensive film of the Prince world in the Purple Rain setting.
So is that actually an advantage that they have over Michael? Is the fact that, as you said, the veil never dropped with Prince, so they
do have an advantage, but they have, because they have a landscape of Prince's life in a film setting,
that blurs the lines already.
Mold it into anything. And they can put they can create anything that he did into that world and keep it in the Purple Rain setting, all of his albums, but it's in that whole sequence of how the Purple Rain film is. So they literally can get away with so many things there. Whereas with Michael Jackson's, it was difficult because as soon as he was a kid, but Prince, they don't have to delve into anything, and they get away with doing that whole new reincarnation with a $200 million budget of Purple Rain with his full catalogue, and it would look spectacular.
It would. It really would.
It would look. I'm just looking at the poster now.
I wonder who would play Prince. Do you think Prince would be easier to play than Michael, or do you think he would be?
He would. Yeah, he would, because all they have to go off is the Prince in Purple Rain. But who they get to play him, I don't know.
That would be interesting.
I've got a feeling who they might try and get to play him.
Who would that be?
Bruno Mars,
who used to do impressions of Prince. Did he do impressions of Prince?
Yeah, and he's done a couple of things here and there, and it's like he seems eager. And again, with technology, they can make Bruno Mars look smaller than other people and play around with it, and he loses weight and this, that, that. Yeah, they say, they'll get somebody who's an unknown. No, they won't. They will get somebody like Jafar that's heavily connected to the DNA.
Do you know what? I think actually Bruno Mars might actually work. I mean, I
think realistically, from looking at how they cast Jafar and how it was kind of the only way, in a strange way, they could do this. With Bruno Mars,
I think that's an interesting shout from you. Like Bruno Mars, I can kind of almost see that working. Actually,
this Michael Jackson film's opened up the doors for so many things now.
It really has, hasn't it?
And when they do biopics, because this man's biopic in the next 2 weeks will be the highest grossing biopic in history of all time. It will be the biggest. As usual, Michael Jackson set the landscape, and like what Prince did, they'll be going after that. So when they do Prince, the biopic, and it will be in the same font as Purple Rain, how it says Prince on the Purple Rain poster, that will be the title, Prince. They will get somebody. Go on.
Do you know what, Mike, right? Do you think Prince actually worked against himself in his lifetime by not allowing his music to be streamed on Spotify? And
but the music
that's so universally,
it is, but that man was not going to have anybody tell him what to do. And it did work again. I wouldn't, do you know what? It didn't, because Prince did everything how he wanted to do it. So in a way, it worked against us.
Yeah, it worked against
that man did everything he wanted to do, and he achieved all of it on his own terms. I've never ever seen that ever in the entertainment industry, especially from someone from the African American landscape. Other than Michael Jackson, Prince did everything on his terms. Everything. Michael Jackson, as big as he was, there was nobody bigger than him. He didn't get everything on his terms later in life. It all turned into a catastrophe.
Even with the Bad album, he wanted to call it Smooth Criminal, and he wanted the picture with the lace,
with the veil, with the that famous the actress, and they said, "Oh, we're not doing that." So he did not have full It's weird. Michael Jackson was in control. I'm not saying he wasn't, but Prince literally had the very last say on everything. Everything.
This is what I mean about Prince being shy in one capacity, in a sort of on a human level, but then in the business music level, being the boss and like, you know, what's that on the back of all the Prince albums? Written, produced, and performed by Prince, or something like that. This.
Oh yeah, just mental. He didn't need anybody.
Unbelievable.
He only needed somebody there because there can't be six versions of himself stood playing everything. Otherwise, he didn't need anybody. He literally didn't need anybody.
I listened to most of Dirty Mind on the way back from work today as well.
Oh,
last time, and yeah, I think it's pretty much just all Prince, isn't it? It's
unreal. That whole flipping album.
It's unreal.
From the first noise you hear to anything, from anything. But that's how you do your Prince film.
That's how you do your Prince film.
And you throw in Graffiti Bridge, you throw in Under the Cherry Moon, all in that landscape.
I'd love if you could throw in Michael in some of this that we spoke about.
That would.
Do you know what?
Can you imagine if they have Jafar do a cameo in the Prince film?
Oh, that would be so cool. How good would that
be? If they did that one crossover.
Yeah, that's the.
I don't think they'd have the balls though.
No,
excuse my French. I don't think they would. I don't think they would do it.
No, I don't think they would. But it would be amazing. I love this album. I
love it. I absolutely love it. What's your favorite song on the album?
I actually really love The Future, which is the first track, because
love it.
I love The Future, and I
love
think
it.
Because of the live version he done as well, like in the 90s, when you know the Cork special that you shared with me, the Cork footage.
Love it.
Yeah, The Future is, and it opens with The Future, but all of it, I love it. I just think it's great. I just think it's a great pop album.
I love Lemon Crush. Love it.
It's phenomenal.
And Electric Chair. Have you seen when he performed Electric Chair? Is it on David Letterman?
Oh man, I can't remember. I'll have to see.
I'm sure it's David Letterman. It's when Batman's released and he does Electric Chair.
He does. Letterman. But why do fans hate on this? Do you see Prince fans hate on this album?
I don't know why, but you're thinking of another lovely person who have met, Simon Pegg, in Shaun of the Dead, where they go, throw it.
No, I love that movie. I forgot about that moment in that.
When they've got the Prince albums, he goes, no, you're not. It's when they're throwing the vinyls at the bloody whatever, and he's going, what we're throwing, Sign of the Times. He goes, no, not Sign of the Times. No, and then they go, throw the Batman soundtrack.
And that is good. That is funny. Yeah, that is good. That's good.
But I love I don't know what it is. I love it because, again, it's that incredible, cool crossover of Prince, Warner Brothers, and Batman.
That's it. What a crossover.
It's incredible.
It's great. I love it. Love it.
And obviously, I love Scandalous. The song Scandalous, obviously the clean version.
I was just going to say Well, yeah.
What an album. I don't understand, what all the nonsense is over the Batman album, but I love it. And obviously, Bat Dance, Christ, we did say Bat Dance.
Yeah, well, for me, that was one of the first Prince ones that I loved because of the video as well. And
I'm forgetting another song, Party Man.
Party Man. Yeah, but this is what I mean. It's a great album. It's okay. Maybe it's not like a Prince masterpiece in terms of something like Sign of the Times or 1999 or Purple Rain. But I mean, I think it's a great album. I really love it. I really love it. And maybe that's why it sort of gets a hard time because it's a crossover, it doesn't sort of stand on its own, maybe, but I think it sort of does.
Right.
I love it for being a crossover. I love it for being Batman. I just love the Batman.
It's just incredible. It's that crossover. It's that cool crossover. And never forgetting another great song, Trust. I love that song, Trust.
Yeah, you definitely know this album. You definitely
Well,
know this.
this was the album. This was the album that I was introduced to Prince.
Yeah.
This was how I was introduced to him. I always think, and I laugh because the song "Sexy MFer," technically, that was the first video of Prince I ever saw. And there was me, my cousins, and we saw that video and we couldn't help but laugh because we thought, this is ridiculous, this song, but it's so I'll never forget, we were like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
It's insane. It's
Leaning on his bloody yellow BMW with these women, and I was like, who the hell is this guy?
It's like so insane that it actually is really good. It works because it's so insane.
Yeah.
When you really think of it, really, it's pretty bonkers, really, a lot of it. But that's what.
Yeah, but it works.
It works. There's nobody around anymore like Michael Jackson or Prince, is there?
No.
There's nobody really. There's no. Have you seen this? Harry Styles is on tour and he's got this stage. Was I telling you about his stage?
I think so. Didn't he walk off it or fall off it or something? Or
it goes around the whole stadium and it's like ramps and catwalks and it's like.
Well, what else can he do? What else can that guy show?
That's it. Like there's footage of him and he's like running laps around this big stage that is the size of the arena. And it's like, what is going on? What is going on? It's I don't know. There's nobody like MJ or Prince. There's nobody. You know, and that's no disrespect to Harry Styles or whoever. You know, I'm not down on new music and whatever the kids are enjoying. But like, come on.
No. Well, do you know what? I'm saying that I listen to, with my daughter's music and everything. There is some cool, there is some amazing stuff. But I always say to my daughter, and she knows, and she said, you can't compare anybody to this guy.
No, you can't.
All this guy.
That's it. I always
I think it's highly unfair as well.
Probably
I think it's extremely unfair. But again, comparing Taylor Swift, comparing Beyonce to Michael Jackson or Prince, it's unfair because they've set such a standard.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to meet that? How are you supposed to replicate that? You can't.
What makes me laugh though is that the establishment, like the music establishment, the awards shows, and then the media, they want so bad for the new.
They really do.
They want Beyonce to win more awards. They want Taylor Swift to have the biggest selling tour. They want so bad for somebody.
What was it I heard? Harry Styles is the new king of pop.
Oh my!
Are you having a laugh, sunshine?
Mental, isn't it? I don't get. Nothing against the guy, but I just don't.
Do you know what? I don't have anything against anybody, but it's setting him up to fail.
I don't get the appeal of him. I really don't.
It sets people up to fail because how can you possibly try and compare? I don't know. How can you possibly compare? I don't know, Diodora to Nike.
Yeah, I'm sure I had.
How? It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's true, though. It's so true.
I do these little comparisons for you, like with McDonald's and stuff. I think you love it.
I do, man. I love it.
But it's so true, though. It's unfair. It's extremely unfair for the media or whomever to try and compare anybody to Michael Jackson or Prince. It's insanity. It's insanity.
It's insanity. I mean,
but ladies and gentlemen, what could it be? What could it be that his secret is safe with me?
What could that be? Answers on a postcard to Mike at the As Archives, P.O. Box.
I was going to say to Conrad Murray.
Conrad Murray. Jesus, yeah, Conrad Murray. Can you imagine it? Conrad Murray. And then him coming on TV saying, I've been opening the letters, I've been opening my fan mail, going
Imagine
through.
if he tries to come on here.
I would like to have a conversation with him. I don't think it's happening, but Conrad, if you're watching, if you'd like to come on.
I wonder when he's ready to say that.
I don't know.
I'm surprised we've not heard anything from him.
Is he practicing medicine again, or is his license?
No, I think he's practicing medicine. I think he's in another country doing it.
Well, I heard he's on an island somewhere in South America practicing medicine.
I think so.
I'm not sure what we've achieved here tonight.
I think we've achieved a lot. I think we've achieved in terms of putting out the question to everybody listening. What do you think in terms of what was staged and what was real? What was fact?
Yeah, what was staged? What was real?
Because again, that illusion keeps blurring the lines. And obviously, Conrad Murray saying his greatest secret lies with me. What on earth could that possibly mean? I have my opinions and I possibly know what he's getting at, but until it comes from his mouth, we've got Rust for when it hits $1 billion, and we've got the champagne. This is going to be a celebration to everybody watching. It's going to be a celebration when the Michael Jackson film hits $1 billion, because so many said it would not happen. This film would not happen. And guess what? It's happened, and it's going to become the biggest biopic of all time.
Definitely. And that's what I love about Michael. Biggest selling album of all time. Even Bad and Dangerous are among the biggest selling albums of all time. History is the biggest double selling album, I believe. Maybe it's in competition with some other album. Blood on the Dance Floor is the biggest remix album of all time.
Oh my God, that album. You said that album. That album's addictive.
I love it, man.
Dangerous, Blood on the Dance Floor. I can't decide which one is my favorite album, and then I've got.
I love that you said that, because I love Blood on the Dance Floor.
I love Blood on the Dance Floor. Every single song on there, the remixes, all of that, absolutely incredible, incredible. The song at the end, I used to love the dance mix of History. Oh, come on! Incredible.
Tony Moran. What's the Tony Moran mix? I can't remember but I love that as well.
By the way, did you ever as his homework tonight, I'm going to send it him or whatever. He's going to listen to the Dr. Freeze version of Break of Dawn, right?
I'm doing that tonight.
But did you hear the dance remix, club mix of You Rock My World?
I want to say I have, and I want to say it's incredible.
If you go on Alexa, so every time I used to ask Alexa to play You Rock My World, You Rock My World remix, she'd play a remix, a club mix.
Yeah. And it's amazing.
It was euphoric. Me and my daughter were like, whoa, where are we going? We're going on a roller coaster. What is this? It's the You Rock My World remix club mix. I'll have to find out which one it is. We were in awe.
Wow. I think I have heard it. It's brilliant. I do love a good remix, when it's done the right way, and it's, as you said, if it's euphoric as well, and it's just like,
I can't wait for you to hear. Maybe you should. Have you got some really, really good earphones?
I've got a decent pair of Beats that I got a few years ago. I'll listen to them.
Put them on, and when you listen to this Break of Dawn version, you're literally going to go,
where have you been all my life?
Pretty much. I remember when I first heard it, I was like, this is taking me on a journey.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we need these deluxe editions of these albums, because we need that stuff to enhance and complement what we have.
And you just really hit on something there. One of the greatest Prince songs I heard was on that new version of Purple Rain, that remastered version.
I have it somewhere, yeah.
Roadhouse Garden.
Oh, Roadhouse Garden. Love it. Absolutely love
I
it.
went to the universe listening to that song.
Roadhouse Garden. I love it. And there's one on this I love actually. Right, Moonbeam Level.
Oh, Moonbeam Levels. Oh,
Right, but there's that. But there's also
is it Dance Electric?
well, I think Dance Electric, but where is it? Where Bold Generation, right? Bold Generation is on here, right? And it's an early version of New Power Generation that is on what's New Power Generation on?
Is that on graffiti? Is that on Graffiti Bridge?
Yeah, isn't it? Is it it's Graffiti Bridge? It's on Graffiti Bridge. But Bold Generation is on here, and it's a real loose, funky, early version of New Power Generation. Wow. I really love it. It's on this.
Do you know what's one of my favorite songs on the Graffiti Bridge album? It's so bizarre, but so insane, but so amazing. Elephants and Flowers.
Elephants and Flowers, yeah. I know the title. I remember enjoying it, but I can't sort of recall it right now. But as soon as I hear it,
hear it.
Yeah.
And it opens with the sound of an elephant with a guitar. It is nuts.
Yeah. Oh, I love I know you're collecting the originals, but I have to say,
you're really, 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 oh God, you're really, really encouraging me to get, they're really hard to get now,
and that's the thing. I mean, you can always
those particular box sets are really hard to get. There's a guy, if you go on one of Prince's interviews, it's the one in Toronto where he's talking, he's got his little hat on, his beanie hat, and he's talking. And this guy's a massive Prince fan. He's got his own YouTube channel. He asked Prince a question. Prince thinks he's a bootlegger. It's brilliant. It's quite funny.
Really?
But he's got everything. He's literally got everything right of Prince. He's got all of those bloody deluxe box sets. Oh, and they're so hard. The ones you've got there are really hard to get now. Really hard. And if you find them, 250, 300 at max. At minimum, sorry. And when they came out, were they 25 quid, 50 quid?
Something like that. Maybe 50. Maybe 40 something, touching 50 maybe.
Touching 50.
But it's like me with Crystal Ball as well. Like I don't have Crystal Ball. And I don't have that one Night Alone box set either. So there's loads of stuff I don't have.
And how many albums, how many discs are in the Crystal Ball set?
4?
5.
Five. That's right. Yeah, I did hear Crystal Ball. I don't know if somebody bootlegged it for me or if I heard it.
I heard it on YouTube.
Maybe I heard it on YouTube.
And I think is it the first opening song? Incredible. It actually reminded me of Michael Jackson. One of the first songs. I think it's song number 3. I can't remember, but I was like, whoa, what's going on here? This sounds like Michael Jackson.
I think to become like a Prince fan, like now, if I was to become a Prince fan today, I'd be quite overwhelmed by the amount of music because well,
where'd you start?
Where do you begin with it?
Where would you start with Prince? I think my daughter even asked me this. Because she said to me, how many albums has he done?
Yeah.
And I said, I think, did he release 50 albums, like official albums?
Probably.
Then you've got the stuff he released with his bands.
Yeah.
Then he wrote songs for other artists. And then there's all of his unreleased stuff, which is, again, ridiculous.
There's like a few jazz kind of album projects.
Yeah.
There's the stuff he released exclusively on his NPG label, Fan Club.
Yeah, the chocolate invasion.
I don't know. I'm aware of it, obviously. That's an NPG release, I think, isn't it? The chocolate invasion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I listened to it. Have you listened to it?
Yeah, and it was incredible.
I say.
I'll send you one song from it. Incredible.
Do it. This is the thing. With print, there's just so much to get to grips with. And then there's like EP, like there's singles with like other stuff on them, and you'd spend the rest of your life you'd spend the rest of your life.
Really weird. Again, another incredible album, Parade.
Parade.
It's weird. I love all of his albums, but it's the particular albums that he's incorporated into film that he's done. Obviously, you've got your Purple Rain, You've got your parade under the cherry moon, and then obviously you've got Graffiti Bridge.
Mm.
It's a sound. It's an incredible music album, but it's a soundtrack as well.
And then there's that which.
Oh, and then obviously there's this.
I mean,
Which
I
is
suppose
it's unique, but it's unique.
It's unique. Yeah, it's unique. Yeah, each thing like offers you that unique experience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In with the movies beautifully. Yeah. Well, I think we have crossed the graffiti bridge tonight, my friend.
We have, and crossing the Rubicon, as we should say.
Crossing the Rubicon.
But that question, his secret lies with me. What does that mean?
A veiled question. What does it mean?
If they did a Prince movie, we will have to do our own episode on that. But
100%.
You, the audience, and obviously Russ, where would you start with a Prince biopic?
Where would you? I don't know.
I'm very curious. But like I said, they will formulate it in a way of setting it in that realm.
Yeah, I think that would be the way, a possibility of going like the Purple Rain, and
you won't just have your Prince in it. I do believe you will see Apollonia, you will see Vanity 6, you will see The Time. God, there's so much to unpack. Prince was his own genre.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. You could actually potentially fill a record shop with Prince related music. And just, you could certainly fill like one entire like section of a shop, and it would just be Prince section, and it would be everything, you know. And I mean, coming off of that as well, you've got Janet Jackson working with Jam and Lewis, who were part of The Time and influencing her, and then the whole Minneapolis sound. And like, you could spend the rest of your life going down that rabbit hole, and what a beautiful thing to sort of go down and escape into. But you really could. My apologies to everyone if I'm a little bit slow tonight. I've been working quite hard recently.
Oh no, mate, you've not been slow at all. We've really delved into this, but the question is, ladies and gentlemen, what could that mean? His secret lies with me.
His secret lies with me. Well, I think we have reached the end of the evening on this one. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Is there anything you would like to say in closing, Mike?
We have some interesting things coming up with Russ that we've spoken about.
Definitely.
And ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a celebration, because it's going to hit 1 billion. And you're going to join us on here when it hits 1 billion. And 100%. Honestly, I can't wait. I literally can't wait.
I can't wait. Just thank you, Mike. Thank you for joining us tonight. And
as always, mate, thank you for having me on here, and everybody here, thank you for letting us have this platform.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Please push the like button. Please drop us a nice comment. Please.
We have many things to share.
Absolutely. And yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. We look forward to Michael hitting 1 billion, and tonight was an interesting one. We've gotten a bit philosophical in the last maybe 2 video, but it's a deep place to go, isn't it, these discussions? It's always nice, though, to chat about these things with yourself, Mike. Yeah. So thank you very much, my friend. And,
mate, thank you very much.
Everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
And we will catch you on the next one.
Cool.
And it's good night from him, and it's good night from him. Okay?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.